Las Vegas, it's Johnny Vegas, news guru Krishnan Guru Murthy, and their team captain, Jason Manford. And facing them tonight, in the thick of it, Chris Addison. She's 10 years younger, it's Nikki Hamilton-Jones. And their team captain, Sean Locke. Now, welcome your host, Jimmy Carr.
Hello and welcome to 8 out of 10 Cats, a show about opinion polls, surveys and statistics. Did you know, for example, 46% of women spend over an hour a day gossiping? At least that's what Judy at the Royal Association of Statisticians told Marlene at the National Audit Office. Cheerleading accounts for 54% of all injuries in American high schools. Oh dear, I seem to have broken your hymen. And the average person loses 50% of their taste buds by the time they're 60, so it is okay for your nana to live on cat food. Let's get started. What are you talking about? That's the name of our first round. We've teamed up with a leading polling organisation, and they've asked the British nation what stories they've been discussing this week. Jason, Johnny and Krishnan, what have the nation been talking about this week?
Do you reckon, boys?
This must be those appalling phone calls from Jonathan Ross and Russell Brand.
Have they been calling you again, Krishnan?
Yeah.
What are you wearing, Krishnan?
To that
Manuel.
Fawlty Towers actor. Yeah.
It's not like Andrew Sachs could have been terribly surprised to hear this news. If you have a granddaughter who is between 20 and 25, it is statistically more likely than not that Russell Brand has f***ed her.
One of the reasons people are offended is also the granddaughter, you know, and regardless of the fact that she was in the Satanic Sluts, whatever, it's his image of his granddaughter.
That's the lady in question.
I wonder if she's actually wearing a T-shirt and it's a mirror and she's about to get attacked by Frankenstein.
I would, but I'd do a bit of foreplay. I'd get to take my bins out first.
What I found quite interesting about it was how did he know that she was Andrew Sachs's granddaughter? I've never had sex with anybody and during the act have gone, so what's your granddad do for a living? Oh, right. Oh, bloody hell, because you don't look like him. And nobody's brought up, right, in the old days, Andrew Sachs was abused. Look at the way he used to get treated by John Cleese. He used to knock 7 bells of shit out of the poor little fella. And we just went, ha, 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 ha. Poke him in the eye, call him an idiot.
Hit him with a spoon, it was awful.
Because so much of our comedy is about humiliating people, would you instantly think that was outrageous and offensive and should lead to resignation?
Oh, shut up, you twat.
Or would you?
It's because it's Andrew Sachs. It's because it's a well-loved character.
It's a weird thing. You could name any celebrity from the 70s and we could say whether that'd be okay or not, based on how loved they are.
It's a new drinking game.
Cast of a lower low, not a problem. Fucked them all.
I've been thinking of phoning up David Attenborough saying, I've done one of your gorillas. It was nice.
I think it's odd that those two are celebrity friends, Russell Brand and Jonathan Ross. One can't pronounce his R's, and the other one over-elaborates his R's, doesn't he? He's always, Russell Brand on the radio. And I think that's weird. It's like having a mate with no legs is best mates with Michael Flatley, you know. All right, stop rubbing it in, mate.
I think maybe what they should do is say sorry and both of them get their hair cut. Go on, get your haircuts. Anyway, smile yourself up. You long-haired layabouts.
Let's see if these prank phone calls are one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, the most talked about thing this week. This is the story of Jonathan Ross and Russell Brand's prank calls to Andrew Sachs. It's really difficult for Jonathan Ross to say sorry. It's also difficult for him to say around the rugged rascal Brand. OK, Sean, Nikki, Chris, what else have the nation been talking about this week?
They've been talking about Prince Harry and his desire to fly a helicopter.
Yes. He's sort of chosen he wants to fly helicopters. In a way, the royals, they just do what they want. In a way, their life is like just one long episode of Jim Will Fix It.
It's a £46 million helicopter.
Yeah, the Apaches,
right? It loses about £6 million once you fly it off the forecourt. But it's a £46 million, and they're going to train a boy who had to cheat to get a C in GCSE art to fly it.
Yeah.
He probably couldn't draw one, could he? I think you should do something less predictable, though, right? And that's always the armed forces. I think you should do something, you know, like become a fireman or like a clamper. £60 fine, but I was clamped by Prince Harry.
I can tell you that Prince Harry is not one of the most talked about things this week.
Really?
Yeah, no, it has been in the news. This is the story that Prince Harry wants to train as an Apache helicopter pilot. Prince William was at the centre of a controversy earlier this year when he parked his chopper in Kate Middleton's back garden. Ah, young love. Right. Jason, Christian, Johnny, what else have the nation been talking about this week?
Is it these extreme marathon people who suffered extreme weather? You know?
What was that, Christian?
I can't bear this story. I had to do it on Sunday night, you know.
Yeah.
Well, it's your job reading the news. We all read the papers because we enjoy them. I can't bear this story. I had to read out what happened. Oh, they're running and then it rained. I hate it. Jon Snow gets all the good stories. I hate it.
You hear mountain marathon and you think, oh, you know, it's a bunch of athletes running up a hill. It's a bunch of old people hobbling up mountains. And then when we did the stories about how they were all washed away and didn't know what they were doing and got lost, they then got angry with us and saying, oh, no, you were making it up and we were all fine. And these stupid people, I just want to say to them, don't waste my time. I have had it with your stupid antics. The next time there's a weather storm, just don't call us.
Fair enough, yeah. That seems reasonable.
Can I just take a quick opportunity? I'd like to apologise on behalf of Channel 4 for any offence caused. I could give you this opportunity to resign. Would you like to resign? It's all the rage in the media. Go on, resign.
A bunch of very healthy people who can have whatever operation they want from the NHS, right, decide to go out and fucking try and kill themselves and cost us thousands of pounds in helicopter rescues and everything. I've had to drop 4 stone to get a new hip. Not by going up a mountain, I do now. Just by cutting out pastry.
You managed to drop 4 stone by cutting out pastry. How much pastry were you eating?
I slept on a pastry bed.
And ate...
And I ate it every night. I went to bed in a big pie. I woke up in tears. Yeah, I wept gravy. You know.
I know the petty.
It doesn't sound that far-fetched. I can see your head poking out of a pie.
Yeah.
Like you're in a jacuzzi.
Nicky, do you think he looks 10 years younger?
Oh, look at Nicky. Nicky has no interest in me.
Looking good, Johnny. Your arms are really thin.
I've got a question for you, Nicky. I've been trying to get my wife to take part in your show, right, 10 years younger. Is it wrong that she's 22?
Yeah. You wanted to look too. Is that what you say?
No. 20 years younger.
That'd be sick. That's sick. I'm just curious.
I think... unfortunately, if the Channel 4 bosses are watching, I don't think we found Carol Vorderman's replacement.
Just to go back to this original mountain marathon, I think that mountain rescue sort of enjoy it, to be honest, because they're not a proper emergency service, are they? Like I will, you know, I will never need mountain rescue. I will never need them, I promise you.
Ladbrokes, if you're watching, 40 quid. I'm only saying it because I'm a friend.
I'll never need them. I'll never need the Coast Guard either. I'll never need the Coast... My emergency service, police, ambulance, fire engine, AA, Domino's. They're not proper.
I would like to apologise on behalf of Channel 4 for any offence caused to mountain rescue. Jason would like to resign. OK, let's see whether this extreme marathon is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, this is the story. Organisers of an extreme marathon face criticism for going ahead despite bad weather. With 100-mile-an-hour winds, horizontal rain and competitors suffering broken bones and hypothermia, it's thought that this year's event was the funniest there's ever been. OK, back over to you. Sean, what else are the nation be talking about?
I imagine it's the US elections which are coming...
It's next week, isn't it? It's exciting.
Yeah,
On Tuesday, and the polls have generally put Obama ahead, but, you know, they say the polls, they're not sure about the polls. John McCain has said he's gathering up. I'm not sure if he really wants to win, to be honest. You know, he's 72, right? You don't want to move house when you're 72.
Yeah.
I don't like moving the furniture to Hoover.
He did, in an effort to show that he's physically fit for this, he released 1,173 pages of medical records. If you've got 1,173 pages of medical records, you need to sit down.
We've got a clip of some ordinary Americans. Do you want to see what ordinary Americans think about the election? Have a look.
Yeah.
Al-Qaeda is dangerous. They're trying to kill us. And John McCain is the only guy that's even close to having the experience that's required to deal with them.
We don't vote for baby killers in this family, and Obama is a baby killer.
I'd hate to be that kid and have bedtime stories like that. The Al-Qaeda are trying to kill us. Night, night.
What do you think about the American election?
If Obama wins, we're going to flush out all the mad, stupid neo-Nazi skinheads who think you can kill a president by driving at him.
They were going to shoot him wearing white top hats.
Yeah.
What part of the plan? What part of the plan did that get involved in?
Well, you know what the problem was? They got a stylist.
What should we wear? White top hat!
Put it on the Ritz, motherfucker!
Whenever you see white supremacists, they're always in their kind of late teens, early 20s. They've always got a Nazi tattoo on them, and that has really put me off getting a Nazi tattoo.
OK, let's see if the US election is one of the most talked about things this week.
I think it is.
Yes, the US election campaign enters its final week. The election takes place on November the 4th, so expect some fireworks on November the 5th. Right, fingers on buzzers, what else have the nation been talking about?
Is it the James Bond film that's premiered today or tomorrow? Or yesterday?
Friday.
Let's not fall out over it. We're not invited. There's no gadgets in this one, is there?
No,
There's not many gadgets.
They're ripping off the Bourne Identity.
Yeah.
The Bourne Identity did it! It's James Bond. He should have an umbrella coming out of his ass. Sickening.
Nikki, are you looking forward to the Bond movie?
Yeah, I am. I mean, I'm not a big Daniel Craig fan.
You're not?
No, I think Bonds just shouldn't be blonde.
He shouldn't be blonde?
I see Bonds as being a bit more dark-haired and a bit more rugged.
A bit more dark hair, a bit more rugged?
Yeah.
But Daniel Craig's from Liverpool. Well, he grew up on the Wirral, didn't he? I think, and he's lost that accent. Don't you think that would make a better Bond? The name's Bond, James Bond. Fucking smear off ice, you prick.
Let's have a look and see whether the new James Bond movie is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, the new James Bond film is out this week. Every woman wants him, every man wants to be him, with his steely eyes, incredible physique, and his chiseled features. It's impossible not to look at Sean Locke and think, this guy should be Bond.
You're probably right.
Daniel Craig got a gash on his face whilst filming. I suppose that's one of the perks of being Bond, isn't it? OK, one more thing to get. Something happening this week. Go on. Ooh.
Asthma.
Is it?
Is it the asthma? It's gone rocketed up.
Halloween.
Halloween! Halloween. Come on, say it with me.
Halloween.
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 Go on.
It's Halloween. And
That's all you can say, really.
Yeah, basically, it's happening. And all the kids come and knock on your door every 5 minutes asking for sweets, which is like a takeaway service for paedophiles. It's a bit weird.
I think what they did was they sat down with all the paedophiles and they agreed that on Halloween they'd have a kind of ceasefire. Say, OK, for one day of the year, can you stop your tampering ways? Let the kids go have a bit of fun, we can all relax.
When I was a kid with trick-or-treating, right, if someone said trick or they didn't answer the door but you knew they were in, right, you would maybe egg their house or, you know, throw a bit of toilet roll through the trees or whatever. But I read the other day that one of the tricks this year is burning people's cars. That's not a trick, that's a crime, isn't it? It's not a trick or military coup.
Let's have a look and see whether Halloween is one of the most talked about things this week.
Got away with that.
Yes, it's Halloween. What a lot of the local kids don't realise is I was planning on covering my house with toilet paper anyway, so the joke's on them. So, those are the 5 most talked about things this week. In other news, they're saying the credit crunch spells a return to the 1970s. Shit, I haven't done my French homework. In sporting news, Harry Redknapp has taken over as manager of Spurs, Tony Adams has been made manager of Portsmouth, and Diego Maradona has been made manager of Nando's. So at the end of that round, Sean, Chris and Nikki have 2 points, Jason, Johnny and Christian have 3 points. So our next round is called Pick of the Polls. Sean, Chris and Nikki, you want to choose first? What do you like the look of?
We'll go for the dog.
OK, let's have a look at a clip to illustrate your statistic.
First, Elaine enters her special psychic zone, and Ben enters his.
OK.
Right, so
Go.
Ben, are you happy with what we're doing for you now, sweetheart, to help you? Would you still like me to continue with the Reiki?
Yes, I like Reiki. It's really good what you're doing. I'm very grateful. But do you think you could make time to just have it for me?
And what signal will you give me?
I'll bark and bang your leg with my paw.
Right, I think you're going to have to show me that, Ben, so that I know it's the right signal.
I'm just nice and relaxed at the moment. I'll show it you later. Oh, and by the way, I love you.
Oh, thanks, Ben. You've done it again.
Amazing. Easiest job in the world, isn't it? Pretending to pretend to be able to be a dog. Yeah, like with its owner asking you questions like, what do you like? I like going for a walk and licking my own bollocks and...
OK, 25% of dogs have had alternative therapies, true or false?
What was that? Was Reiki she was doing, was
That
it?
was Reiki, yeah.
She's telling the owner what the dog needs.
The owner is telling her through the incredible power of being mental. What the dog is thinking. I mean mental as in she's got a mental connection with it. I'm not suggesting the woman is mental.
When you get a dog outfit and you just come in and sit there and read a paper in front of your dog, it freaks them out. You do all the like human things, but just dressed as a dog and go, well, just do very banal human things in front of the dog dressed as a dog, and it drives him mad.
I think, Johnny, though, I think you'll start a craze. Invest in dog suits.
I zip off the dog suit and do like 500,000 years of evolution and become a man. Like
Men
that.
didn't actually evolve from dogs. That's not a thing.
We've been evolving into...
Do you know what? 5 stages of evolution, and the one thing they're missing off the beginning is a poodle.
It's dog, Neanderthal man, sort of Cro-Magnon man.
What did
then there's
dogs
like a
come from?
chicken, and then it goes on. It's a Johnny's map of evolution. For about 6 months, we were a chicken.
25% of dogs have had alternative therapies, true or false? What do you think, Sean?
I don't think anyone would do that. I think it's false.
But dog whispering's alternative, right? So I think it could be true.
Do you know, I do a bit of dog whispering. I do a bit of dog whispering. Sit down! Sit!
That's spitting, darling.
Oh, sorry.
What do you think, true or false?
False.
You're going
say
false?
true.
All right, you guys, what do you think, true or false?
I just think, what are you stressed about? I've never seen a dog that stresses. Every day is the happiest day of its life, isn't it? It just wakes up like, oh, I'm awake! Woo!
It's true.
You think true? Well, we're going to go with Johnny Vegas.
OK, so you're going true. I can tell you the answer is true. Yes. 25% of dogs have had alternative therapies. OK, Jason, your team to choose. What do you want to go for?
We've got this fat person.
I prefer the term colleague.
Let's go with fat. We know fat. If there's one thing this team knows, it's fat.
OK. You've chosen the fat man. That is a picture of the world's largest man who got married this week, OK? We polled the audience and asked them, if your partner became morbidly obese, would you leave them?
Well, they couldn't follow you, could they? I mean, you could basically pack your bag while they're sat there. You couldn't wait until they go out. You just walk around going, go on, try and grab my leg as I go past you.
I think if you've married this bloke, and, you know, obviously stage one is when you had to have your wedding photos done on Google Earth. You know, I think we've got a problem here, love.
He lost 39 stone to get married. That's a lot of weight to lose, I think.
That's a lot of love.
You'd be annoyed if you were in the same Weight Watchers group as him. Would you leave your partner if they became
Totally,
morbidly
that's
obese?
the rule. You get
That's
fat,
the rule.
you're out.
The best way to do it is to, in your front door, you've got your front door, open the front door, and then have like a cutout of a shape that you feel is satisfactory for them to enter the property. And if they can't get through it, I'm sorry, it's the highway.
OK, Jason, I'm going to push you for an answer.
I'm going to go yes.
Yeah. Shit.
I'm not saying I would.
Can I join your team?
Go on, take your chair with you.
Come on.
No, I'm afraid we can't do it. No, not for ballast. I'm afraid we can't.
Hello, how are you, Johnny?
It's good over here.
So you're saying people would leave their partner if they were morbidly obese?
I think so, yeah.
OK, and you're saying, Sean?
No, I think people wouldn't.
OK, well, I can tell you, Sean, you're absolutely right. Our studio audience said no, they wouldn't leave their partner if they became morbidly obese. So an incredibly fat man has tied the knot. He's the world's fattest bridegroom, and she's the world's flattest bride. So at the end of that round, I can tell you it's 3 points for Sean's new team and 4 points for Jason's new team. And the winner is the name of our final round. Here's your first one. Top topic of conversation while getting drunk.
Oh, now we've lost Johnny Vegas.
I signed him in the transfer window.
Johnny, what do you normally talk about when you're drunk?
Dog suits. And occasionally, the worst funeral you've ever been to.
Have some.
Yeah, I'd have some, yeah.
Wrap it up, you fat bitch.
Yeah, I don't
That's
know.
the widget.
Got the widget.
Get out.
No, it's a diseased testicle. I operated on myself during the show.
Is the conversation I'm all right to go on this morning?
I can't stand... I've tasted it a couple of times, but lager. I remember my mates going, no, of course you don't like it. Nobody likes it first. You've got to learn to like it. And I'm like, no, I don't.
Yeah,
I didn't have to learn to like anything else that I like. Like Jaffa Cakes, bang, first time. I saw the packet and knew I was going to like them.
It's probably sport, isn't it? Something like sport.
That is the right answer.
Oh, well done.
Is it?
Yes, the top topic of conversation whilst drunk is sport. When I stumble in drunk and leering after a night on the town, my girlfriend knows there's only one thing I want, my second Bacardi Breezer. OK, most popular gadget for women.
Etch-a-sketch. Everyone loves an Etch-a-sketch.
Is it the Sky Plus box that doesn't record any of the Brucey bits in Strictly Come Dancing?
Brucey on that. I'd like to think... Because at some stage he's going to die live on a Saturday night. I like that.
Resign.
I'd like to resign. I'm an admirer of Bruce Forsyth. He's a beloved character, and I'd like to resign.
I know what it would be. It'd be a toaster. You put in bread, shoes come up.
Oh, worse.
Great idea.
What am I like?
No, I think it is. I think it's an iron with a telly in it.
I'd like to apologise to any women not watching this in the 1970s.
You'd love that, an iron. I'd like that, an iron with a telly in it.
And a phone as well. Oh, shit!
Even worse. Bloody got a phone abroad.
I think I know what it is. Hair straighteners.
That is the correct answer from Johnny Vegas. Yes, the most popular gadget for women is hair straighteners. Ironically, hairdressers can make anything straight, apart from themselves. Well, that sound tells me it's the end of the round and the end of the show, which means the final scores are Jason, Nikki and Christian have 4 points, Sean, Chris and Johnny have 5 points. They've won. Thanks to all our panellists, our wonderful studio audience, and to all of you for watching at home. That's it from us. Good night.
of 10 cats. It's not Gavin or Stacy, it's James Corden. He's big down under, Jim Jeffries. And their team captain, Sean Locke. And facing them tonight, TV's most dangerous critic, Charlie Brooker. She's got balls of steel, Olivia Lee. And their team captain, Jason Manford. Now, welcome your host, Jimmy Carr.
Hello and welcome to 8 out of 10 Cats, a show about opinion polls, surveys and statistics. Did you know, for example, there are 759 pubs in Britain called the Red Lion? My favourite is the Red Lion. An eighth of all liposuction patients are now in a bin round the back of the hospital. And in Sweden, an average of 10 car crashes a day involve the death of a moose, which is why the Swedes are such a good-looking race. Let's get started. What are you talking about? That's the name of our first round. We've teamed up with a leading polling organisation and they've asked the British nation what stories they've been discussing this week. Sean, Jim, James, what have the nation been talking about?
Is it the tragic tale of the Madonna and Guy Ritchie divorce?
Were you just wiping away a tear?
Yeah,
Sean?
a tear. It's turned out to be quite acrimonious.
She said she came out and said that he always belittle her in front of people. Last night, she played to 28,000 people in Vancouver and called him a retard.
No, emotionally retarded.
An emotional retard. Right, that's 28,000 people and like a few mates down the pub, just because she probably said, I'm an actress, and they all just pissed themselves laughing.
Part of the problem is her cabal of faith. Like, in her house, she's banned Christmas. I was thinking, she's called Madonna, right? That's like Captain Birdseye banning fish.
I don't understand the bitterness that people would display. Like, everybody's rubbing their hands together with glee because they're splitting up. Oh, look at them, they enjoyed 7 years of marriage, the failures. All the relationships I've had only last as long as it takes us to pass a reasonable-looking or even just clean man on the street, and then they're off clawing desperately at his back. So I just find it quite sad.
Well, don't go out with cats. You perverts.
Are you a fan of his work, the Guy Ritchie?
Yeah, I just find it odd that every Guy Ritchie film that comes out has on the poster, Ritchie back to his best, which, you know, was just sort of above average. In the new film, it's all like, what is it about to be a rock and roller? I don't shiver git.
It bothers me that she's a mum, and if you look at all her recent videos, she's always in knickers, and we get it, OK, you work out, you've got a good body. Pants, put a little skirt on, perhaps, a pair of shorts.
I think for her age, she still looks quite fit. She is 80, isn't she?
I think she should come on in an orange. Just her little hands and arms, like a promotion. You know, like when they promote a new drink and someone dresses up as an orange? Yeah. Why doesn't she have a bit of fun, have a laugh at it now? Yeah. Madonna's orange tour, she just comes out in an orange. Rolls around the stage.
For the encore, she comes out as like a hot dog.
Yeah.
Voguing in it.
Yeah. A banana, facing a banana.
OK, let's see if Madonna and Guy Ritchie are one of the most talked about things this week. This is the continuing story of Madonna and Guy Ritchie's divorce. They used to have great nights out down the pub. Old, peculiar, bitter. Just 3 reasons why he chose to divorce her. OK, Jason, Olivia and Charlie, what else have the nation been talking about this week?
Is it the government releasing these UFO files or Operation Keep Everyone's Mind Off the Economy? Apparently, we're being visited by 11,000 UFOs or something. Only 5% are actually unidentified flying objects. The rest are like planes and stuff like that. And I think they can be sort of whittled down to 5% of people are mental. Yeah. There was one bloke who spotted a UFO land on a bypass in Somerset, right? It landed. 2 figures got out, dressed in black, and one of them checked the engine. Who is flying at light speeds to get here? One of them's gone, oh, cam belt's gone.
People never spot these things in, like, London.
Yeah.
Or Paris or anywhere where people are generally looking up at great things. Like, there's always someone looking up at the Eiffel Tower. and there's never been a single thing. It's always like Norwich. The only people they seem to target are people that are a bit weird with really shit camera equipment.
I've been abducted by aliens.
Yeah. We all
Loads
have.
of times. I had to take out a restraining order. I put it up on my bedroom door. I heard them come upstairs and go...
What happened when you were abducted?
They said, do you know, where's Jimmy Carr live? We want to bring him home.
Let's have a look and see if UFOs are one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, this week the Ministry of Defence have released files about past UFO sightings. I didn't want to admit I'd seen a UFO in case I was branded a nutter, said one nutter. Sean? Jim, James, what else have the nation been talking about?
The American election?
This week, Colin Powell came out in support of Barack Obama, didn't he? Which was quite unusual because Barack's a Democrat and Colin's a Republican. So...
Sarah Palin, isn't it? That's her name,
yeah,
the woman. Yeah. The more right-wing she gets, the more attractive I'm starting to find her. Is that wrong? Like a sexy Hitler.
Isn't a sexy Hitler you, Jimmy?
I do not really get the joke.
Do you really find her attractive, though?
No, truly.
People say they find her attractive, but I think it would be like sticking your dick into a swirling vortex of hate.
That's what I want in a wife.
Last time you came on, you were sexually aroused by Barack Obama.
The whole... I am so into the election, I'm Sky Plus-ing the debates.
Yeah. I think a lot of the politics, James, is going over your head, though.
Charlie, you presumably you watch an unimaginable amount of TV. Have you watched the debates?
I did watch the debates. I watched the debates on CNN, which was mesmerising, because they had a little voter approval graph at the bottom, which was like a wobbly line hooked up to some Ohio voters, and they twist a dial. If one of them said something they'd like, they'd twist a dial up, and if they didn't like it, they'd twist it down. So there's this wobbly line going. And all you did was end up staring at the line. And then I was kind of thinking it would be nice if people had those approval graphs on their heads when you were talking to them, so you could tell if they were interested in what you were saying or not. And then I realised that's basically facial expressions.
Okay, well, incredibly, it's not one of the most talked about things this week. It's been in the news a lot, but not one of the most talked about. The US election campaign continues. John McCain has a purple heart from his days in the army. He also has a purple face and shooting pains up his left arm. If McCain wins, he says he'll start with a clean sheet, which he'll cut 2 eye holes in and then pop over his head. OK, Jason, back over to you. What else have the nation been talking about?
Well, we think it might be Omar Bakri slagging off the X Factor. He says it's against Islam.
That's because the auditions are held at Mecca, but he thinks it's the city, not the bingo hall. He's got a bit mixed up. I think he should approve of Danny Minogue, because she, in a way, is kind of wearing a burqa, isn't he?
Yeah.
If you look at her face, the only thing that moves is her eyes. It's like she's wearing a flesh burqa.
Flesh burqa.
She does, she just sits there and goes... Nothing moves. Even when she talks, her lips don't move. The thing I really don't like about the X Factor is when they do... You know, they do the same songs over and over again, so people do, like, unique interpretations of songs, don't they? So someone will go, I believe children of the future... And you know, they do stuff like that with the song. And I think,
stop it, Sean.
Stop it. I don't like the song anyway. You're taking something I hate and making it worse.
I don't like the little 4-year-old boy who's wandered on by mistake. The one who looks like a fetus. He looks like a fetus of Jamie Oliver. They've been growing in a bag and they've accidentally let him out and now he's singing about his bloody problems.
That's what they should do with the X Factor now, because he's put a fatwa on the show, right? So I just say, execute the next person that's voted off, and then we'll just call it quits. Because when they're gone, they're dead to us anyway. If JLS go this Saturday, I won't mind if they're shot.
You could have a record contract. You, not great news.
Maybe Al-Qaeda have just caught on to the fact that to get any publicity in this country, you have to attach yourself to celebrity. They've realised, they've thought to themselves, well, obviously, that's the only way we're going to get any attention if we have a go at celebrities. I wouldn't be surprised if soon Osama bin Laden is releasing his own fragrance in time for Christmas. It's called, like, Infidel. It only comes in 50ml bottles, so you can take it on a plane.
Let's have a look and see if Bakri's attack on the X Factor is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, well, this is the story that fundamentalist Omar Bakri has attacked X Factor for being anti-Muslim. Talent shows have already had a fatwa. Rick Waller, he was a right fatwa. OK, fingers on buzzers. What else have the nation been talking about? Sean.
George Osborne has got himself into trouble because when Peter Mandelson was brought back into the government, he released some sort of comments that Peter Mandelson made, private comments.
He said he's been dripping poison, I believe, about Gordon Brown.
In response, Nat Rothschild has said that he was trying to solicit donations from a Russian billionaire, the richest man in Russia, which every Russian seems to be.
He said he met him twice and on this fella's yacht, but he never asked him for money, he said, which I think is fair enough, isn't it? I mean, you've met somebody twice and you're on their yacht. How do you even slip it like, oh, what's its top speed? Oh, brilliant. How many does it sleep like? Can I have 50 grand? Like, that in?
I feel sorry for the Russian. He's a billionaire. He's got a beautiful yacht moored in a beautiful harbour. He wakes up in the morning, tells his butler, he goes, well, what's on the itinerary today? He goes, well, we've got Peter Mandelson and George Osborne coming on board. Are you serious? I want supermodels.
Yeah.
Scarlett Johansson and some floss.
And maybe a little dab of MDMA.
I didn't even know what an oligarch was. I thought it was a sort of sea cow.
What is it?
I still don't.
It's like the body of a lion with a horse's head. Let's see if it's up there. Yes, the most talked about story of the week. Fingers on buzzers, one more to get. What else have the nation been talking about? Jason.
Is it the pilot who's been accused of being drunk on the passenger jet and he was taken off by police? I thought I'd love to have been there, because police are always a little bit smart-arsed, aren't they? You know, and they're arresting someone like, step out of the plane, sir. It's your plane, is it? Do you know what speed you were doing? 600 mile an hour. Yeah, I know.
They're all making a hoo-ha out of it. It's automatic. All he's got to do is press a button. It's as simple as that.
Yeah. It's trickier than that.
You can't even work straighteners.
I did this with straighteners, actually.
GHD?
Yeah.
Yeah, did you get the new ones?
The new pink ones.
The new pink ones are amazing, aren't they?
All right, got one. Come on, Jimmy.
I think this is a sad story, because you just think to yourself, is there nothing you can drive when you're pissed? Is this what it's come to? You can't drive a car, you can't fly a plane, a boat, a bicycle. I mean, what is there left for us?
Well, let's have a look and see whether this pilot is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, this is the story. United Airlines pilot was arrested on suspicion of being drunk. Despite the pilot being arrested and taken off the aircraft, the flight still ended in disaster as they landed on schedule in Faliraki. At the end of that round, Sean's team have 2 points, Jason's team have 3 points. Our next round is called Pick of the Polls. Sean? Jim, James, what do you like the look of?
What do you like the look of?
I like the man that's had 2 arms put on.
The man with the arms.
It's been announced that the world's first double arm transplant is recovering well, so we polled our studio audience and asked them, if you lost an arm, would you rather have a robotic arm or someone else's as a replacement?
This is the guy he had in Germany, didn't he? He had 2 arms transplanted on.
But didn't he lose his arms in a shredder?
Yeah, he's a farmer.
Yeah, how do you lose 2 arms? Like, did one arm go in and you go, oh, I better get that back. Oh, now look what I've done.
Wouldn't it be a bit like sawing a leg off a chair? Like, he lost a few fingers and then he thought that doesn't even out, so I'll just shove a bit more of this arm in.
Guy, when he recovers, he can do things like he can just go bang, hit someone in the face.
Not
go,
me.
Not me. With the arm. Bang, the guy was a nutter.
God, I'd find it so strange if I was going out with a guy and he was, you know, getting a bit busy, romancing, and he just said, you know, these aren't my hands.
What if, though, Olivia, he was getting busy in the bedroom, you're getting a bit amorous, things are getting heated, he pulls away, the arm stays. The alternative for this guy, as opposed to getting someone else's arms, robotic arms.
If I did get a robot arm, I'd want it not to be just like a claw, like an Abu Hansa. I'd want it to have, like, Swiss Army knife functions. I'd like a bottle opener, a corkscrew.
He wants a frying pan there and a whisk.
so we polled the audience. We asked them, would you rather have someone else's arm or a robotic arm? What do you think they said? What are you going to go with?
I think people would like a real arm.
You think real?
Yeah.
Because robotic works right away, but I'll take real if that's what you two want.
Real.
You're overruling your team. and saying real.
Yeah.
OK, I can tell you 75% of our audience said they wanted a robotic arm. If I lost both my arms, I'd probably just shrug it off. Jason, Charlie and Olivia, what do you like the look of?
We'll go with the Scouts.
OK, you're going with the Scouts? This week it was announced that the Scouts are to be given sex education, so we polled the studio audience and asked them, should they be given sex education?
Maybe it's being taught ironically, like if you weren't in the Scouts, this is what you'd be having, you know what I mean? This is what other kids your age are doing while you're, you know, making fires and crying yourself to sleep in a tent.
This is what you could have won.
We're looking forward to seeing the first Scout with a fingering badge.
I used to be in the Scouts. In the handbook, they used to say, because Baden Powell didn't approve of sex, that wasn't what... Baden Powell's the guy who invented Scouts, in case you're missing it. And he said, if you feel like having sex, put your genitals in cold water and walk it off.
And then come to my room?
Yeah.
OK. We polled the studio audience and asked them, should the Scouts be given sex education?
Yes.
I think they look like a modern bunch.
OK, well, I can tell you that you're absolutely right. 81% of our audience think that the Scouts should be given sexual education. So, Scouts, in summary, a man has a gingang goody watcher and it produces gingang goo. So at the end of that round, Sean, James and Jim have 2 points, Jason, Charlie and Olivia have 4 points. The next round is Believe It or Not. Let's have a look at a clip to illustrate the statistic.
Nobody can tell me anything. I don't read Daily Mirror and so on. I go and have a look. And I've lived in the forests of North America, I've lived in the outback of the Ivory Coast, I've lived in India and Russia. I had my breakfast in Moscow and my tea in Wood Street, Nick. Yeah, I've been about a bit. I'm the only man in the history of mankind that has swum across the Straits of Johor. Nobody's ever done it before, not because of the currents or anything like that, nothing like that. It's sharks. It's not shark infested. But none of the locals go paddling. Yeah, I swum in. I know about sharks, yeah. I'm 6'3" and 16 stone, 200 weight, yeah. I know how to do them. You punch them right in the fucking ear hole and they swim off.
That was my dad. So don't mess with me, he's pretty hard. That was former boxer Paul Sykes there, talking about his life.
He's never left the north, that bloke, has he? No way. He punched a shark in the ear. He said, are sharks famous for their ears? Have they got massive ears? I don't recall seeing a shark. Like, ooh, all right.
Sometimes those amazing stories are true. Like, the time I was at a fun fair, I was on a roller coaster, and it was going down towards a tunnel. A guy stood up, right? His head was sliced off, right? And his eyes came off and landed on my ice cream. And that is... There's no exaggeration.
The related question is, 40% of people admit they regularly exaggerate to make their lives seem more interesting. True or false?
No,
true. Not that I'm suggesting for a moment Paul Sykes was exaggerating.
What I do, if someone tells me a story, I apply something called the exaggeration rate. So if someone said to me, like, I was on a speedboat and I had sex with Beyonce, I'd look at them, you know, for example, it was Charlie told me that story, I'd say probably what happened to Charlie was he was on a bus and he waved at Maura Stewart. So there would be...
That's my best anecdote.
60%.
You think that's 60% true?
See, for example, I have a Nobel Prize in scaffolding. Now, apply the exaggeration rate, you get the truth. I've got a spanner.
Do you exaggerate?
No, I'm a terrible, terrible liar. I was once going out with a girl, and after 2 weeks, she was talking to me about something, and I wasn't listening. And
of course you weren't listening. Some bird talking at you.
Well, and she got upset. So I told her that I was deaf in one ear. It was a lie, and it's true. And I ended up going out with her for 7 years. And I could never find the right moment to explain to her that I wasn't deaf in one ear.
You should have waited for her to, like, slam the door and then go, oh, God, you fixed it! Just one day.
Where were you? Sometimes you have to exaggerate, right? When I was at school, I had a bet with this guy at school called Andy that I could get on Richard and Judy's phoning. right, on This Morning. Never happened until the golden day, which was one of them brilliant days where we couldn't go into school because it had been snowing. The phone-in was on bullying. So I rang in, spoke to the first woman, and I said, oh, I'm being bullied. And she said, oh, should you be at school now? And I went, yeah, I'm playing truant. I just can't bear to go in. OK, someone will call me back. Then Denise, you remember Denise? Yeah. She called me back and she spoke to me on the phone. Stay on the line, you're the first caller on the show. And ended up talking to Richard and Judy all about how much I was being bullied, right? And by the time I'm on air, I'm laying it on so thick, I start to almost cry on the phone. The thing is, Richard, all I want to do is a school play, but I haven't got the confidence. And he said, let me tell you something, James. You ringing in today is braver than any of them bullies do, and we, for one, are proud of you. I said, that means the world to me. Biggest lie I ever told.
40% of people admit regularly exaggerating to make their lives seem more interesting. True or false?
True. We think it's true.
You're going to go true. What are you going to go with?
False.
You're going to go false. OK. I can tell you the answer is false. Only 16% of people exaggerate to make their lives seem more interesting.
Yeah, but
I'd never exaggerate to make my life seem more interesting, as I was telling my dinner guests last night. Sue Pollard and Rusty Lee. So at the end of that round, it's 2 points for Sean's team and 5 points to Jason's team. And the winner is the name of our final round. Here's your first one. Britain's biggest annoyance.
Is it... well, it's either Jeremy Kyle's face or Jeremy Kyle's voice. The man, the voice, the face, the prick. That's what I call him.
What my mum does, which is this, so you talk to me, just say anything, and this is what my mum does.
Oh, hello, James, how are you doing? You all right, No, he's incredibly annoying. Could not be more.
That's my biggest annoyance, is my mum doing that. So I imagine that's probably Britain's.
I'll tell you what's annoying. That little paperclip bastard who comes up on Microsoft Word. You look like you're writing a letter.
Is it Australian immigrants? Well, I'm just hated everywhere I go.
That might be more to do with you.
Yeah. I think I know the answer. Is it when you're in the bath and the phone goes and you get out of the bath and when you get down there, there's always a little pause, and then it starts, good afternoon. You have won a prize.
You're absolutely right. That's the right answer. Yes, Britain's biggest annoyance is cold callers. I got a cold caller yesterday. It was my nan begging me to pay her heating bill. Next question. Most offensive thing on TV.
Is it Country File?
Is it Super Nanny? Because she can't fly, she hasn't got a cape. If all Superman had was bad diction and a naughty step, I don't think it'd be such a big deal, wouldn't it?
Acceptable. Acceptable. Oh.
I know what you find offensive on TV, because you've told me it's those Nazi documentaries when they show all the camps, because you were telling me about how it's all faked. And you had all those pamphlets you were giving me and all those links to websites where like-minded individuals discuss it.
Yeah.
He's always on about it, isn't he?
Yeah. Fighting and punching.
I'll give you that. It's violence on TV. It's the most offensive thing.
Yeah.
Third on the list was sex. Well, if you don't like sex on TV, you could always turn over, do it on the minibar. Well, that sound tells me it's the end of the round and the end of the show, which means the final scores are Sean, James and Jim have 3 points. Jason, Charlie and Olivia are the winners with 6 points. Thanks to all our panellists, our wonderful studio audience, and to all of you for watching at home. That's it from us. Good night.
eyes are smiling for Louis Walsh. It's the phone jacker reveal, K-Van Novak, and their team captain, Sean Locke. And facing them tonight, Big Mac, no cheese, Lee Mack. It's Fizz from Corey, Jenny McAlpine, and their team captain, Jason Manford. Now, welcome your host, Jimmy Carr.
Hello and welcome to 8 out of 10 Cats, a show about opinion polls, surveys and statistics. Did you know, for example, an iguana can stay underwater for 28 minutes or longer if you don't mind it dying? Per square inch of head, people with red hair have 750 fewer friends than other people. Forgot we had one in. And 93% of all greeting cards are purchased by women. Well, if they made a "I'm bored with you, but I can't be bothered to leave you" card, maybe we'd buy more. Let's get started. What are you talking about? That's the name of our first round. We've teamed up with a leading polling organisation and they've asked the British nation what stories they've been discussing this week. Jason's team, what do you think the top 5 most talked about things in Britain are this week?
Well, we've got one person who's been talked about all week right here, haven't we? Louis Walsh over there has been talked about on the old X Factor on Saturday. Everybody's going crazy about it.
I voted somebody out.
Yes.
But I kept somebody as well.
Who did you keep?
I kept Ruth.
Is she Titty Spaniard?
Yeah, exactly. She was the best in the sing-off.
She's the best Titty Spaniard I've ever seen.
That's what Simon thinks too.
Last night I dreamt of San Pedro.
Jimmy, this is... She deserved to stay. The other girl, bad song, hiding behind the piano, badly styled. I had to vote somebody out. If everybody cared so much about Laura, why didn't they vote for her so?
Well, if there was any way that they could, they would have.
You lift your phone and you dial.
You lift your phone and you dial?
Yeah.
Oh, like in the olden days?
Yeah. Jimmy, there's 4 good girls left.
That's no way to talk about JLS. Do you think it's gone a bit too far? Because there were questions asked in the House of Commons
About Laura being voted off?
Yeah, isn't that ridiculous?
Well, you know, you were up at Jonathan Ross's house. He was mentioned in the House of Commons as well, so...
The world's gone mad?
Yeah,
Well, there's nothing else in the news, really.
There's nothing else in the news except celebrities.
Yeah, there's no economic disaster or...
No.
I think David Cameron mentioned something about something that happened in an episode of Pingu the other day. He said there's no way to slip through that ice. In July, maybe, but not in November. I have thought about going on the X Factor, but the problem is all my family are healthy, my dad hasn't been in prison, I wasn't bullied, you know. I mean, no use. When you think about it, what the X Factor does, it takes people's sort of domestic tragedies and kind of turns them into qualifications. It's like, your mum's dead, your dog's got cancer, you're going to have a hit. Is that unfair?
And I like Danny Minogue on it because everyone gets very emotional about it, and she's so professional because she never shows any emotion. Does she? That's the sign of a real professional. How does she manage that, Lou?
I think it's something to do with Botox.
Oh, no, you didn't!
I like the first few episodes, they're my favourites. The first few episodes when there's the proper head the balls on. You know what I mean? Like the proper nutters, though. Like, they could really shorten it, you know, for me. Like, proper have people just going along the queue going, where are you from? Leeds. Where are you from? Hull. Where are you from? Narnia! All right, you're in.
I feel sorry for them all.
That's how I feel when I watch Corrie. K-Van, you do a lot of voices on Phone Jacker.
Yes.
Would you consider
On
doing...
the X Factor.
Yeah.
Maybe I could do a name that tune right now. Nice. They touch your body. Everybody like me.
I didn't think anyone could make that song gayer than George Michael, but you own it.
I thought of going there. There's another scandal, wasn't there? There's one of the girls who was given a week off because she had laryngitis.
Yeah,
I don't think that's
Diana.
wrong. You get a week off. Freddie Mercury had AIDS. He carried on singing.
Let's have a look and see whether the X Factor is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, it is the third most talked about thing this week. Yes, this is the story. Laura White was voted off X Factor on Saturday, or as the world will remember it, 8/11. The important thing to remember about X Factor is it's a proper singing competition, and it's now between Crack Mum, Dead Wife, Leprechaun and Titsy Spanish. Those are the four names. OK, Sean, Louis and Kayvan, what else have the nation been talking about this week?
President Obama. He's become president of America last week. The main talking point is in his speech, acceptance speech, he said to his daughters in a very sort of touching moment, he said, "You can have that puppy now." Which is actually a pretty crap promise, isn't it? If you're president of the United States, you'd at least say, "You can have a pony on the moon." And I'm going to have a penguin. That's what I'd do if I was president of the United States. I'd have a penguin just wandering around the White House like that. And I'd dress him up as a general. And everyone had to salute him wherever he went.
But there is a general, like a penguin who's a general of the... Is it the Norwegian army?
Have you been watching a lot of Walt Disney films recently?
I'm telling you. Google it. Not now, we're busy. But, you know, there is actually... I bet somebody in this audience knows that that's a fact.
What, the people?
Right? Look at that. Facts.
I don't know whether we're really covering the Obama story in the detail we should. Seems a bit penguin-y to me.
It must be quite tense for him. He knows he's president, but he knows he doesn't become president till January. It's a bit like when you're at school and your girlfriend's 15 years and 9 months. You're thinking... Come on, fly by. When you're at school, I said...
Oh, I see, right.
Oh, right, when you're...
I thought you meant when you hang outside of school. No! I like Clinton said there. He said, "I really like Obama. I like his intelligence and I like his curiosity." I thought, curiosity isn't a strong point for somebody in the White House, is it? You don't want somebody walking around going, "What's this button for?"
Kevin, did you follow the election?
I was nervous. I thought, oh my God, McCain might get in. I'm Iranian, so, you know, I'm kind of...
Do you know when you do those phone calls? I think it's great phone jacket, but the bit I don't understand is you're phoning them up and doing all this. Why are you wearing a disguise?
Hey, it's a bit of fun.
Shall we see if Obama's one of the most talked about things this week? Incredibly, still the most talked about thing in the news. Yes, it's Obama's first week as president-elect. Bookmakers are taking odds of 12-1 that Obama will be assassinated. It's a long shot, but some of these snipers are shit hot. Back over to you, Jenny, Jason and Lee.
Is it this
Is it belly drumming?
obesity business?
The obesity business. Go on, tell us more.
Tell me more.
Stop people being obese, the government.
Fat.
Obese or fat. Yeah, Louis? That's another way of putting it.
I'm going to join this initiative, right, because I put on a bit of weight over the last
Don't
few
even say
weeks,
it.
right? No, I weighed myself this morning, right, for this, right? I guess, just have a guess what I weigh. Just have a guess. I know this is...
I want to remain friends. I would rather not take part in this guessing game.
What do you reckon?
I reckon...
Two Ronnie Corbett's.
Two Ronnie Corbett's.
Sean's being polite. He meant Barker.
I'm going to join the initiative and I'm going to set my target as the 5th of April, right? And I'm going to get down... Apparently, my target weight is 13.5. That's what I should be getting down to. I'm going to go April the 5th. That's end of the tax year. And then when that bloke comes on the telly going, "Time is running out, time is running out," I can pretend he's talking about my life.
It's a fine idea. I can tell you, this isn't one of the most talked about things this week, but it has been in the news. The government has launched a healthy eating campaign. Of course, it's not PC to use the term fat. We have to use words like bubble butt, fatty boom batty, chunky monkey wobble slobs, or blubbernaut. If you're insulted by any of those terms, how about a salad?
They should bring back bullying. That's what they should do. There's no fat kids, really. There's only the old fat kids, weren't there?
There was one in every class.
The doctor should say, "I prescribe 3 school bullies," and then as soon as you go out, they just run after you, go, "Fatty, fatty, boom, boom, fatty, boom, boom." Yeah, you'd soon lose it.
Sean, Kayvan and Louis, what else have the nation been talking about?
Is it the raunchy vicar who was banned from the clergy for 12 years
for being drunk in services and swinging. Yeah, she's a swinging vicar. Not only did she do swinging, but she was also a voyeur. Because if she believed that God would be watching. So that's a bit kinky for starters.
Come on, God, you love it.
Yeah. But I just think all that praying in the daytime and swinging at the night time, imagine, it must have made havoc with her knees.
It'd be great if she did the marriage, wouldn't it? And she says, do you take him? Because I know I have.
Oh, she only got caught when she turned up wearing the wrong dog collar.
There's lots of clues for all the keys in the collection plate.
I think that this is actually... The woman that should be blamed for this, or the bloke, is actually the careers officer who told her to go into it in the first place. Because at some point, they've sat down with her and said, what are you into? And she's gone, I really like motorbikes, getting really pissed and shagging other people's husbands. And at some point, they've gone, you thought of being a vicar?
Obviously, this swinging situation, people are just meeting for the first time, I imagine, or you know, they've organised it on the internet and then they've got together. Do you think there's a bit of pillow talk, a little bit of, like, in the middle of it? Like, what do you do for a living, then? I'm a vicar. Yeah, right, sure you are, yeah.
It's better than, hey, love, have a guess how much I weigh. But you can't guess, can you?
Shall we see whether this female vicar misbehaving is one of the most talked about things this week? Yes, a female vicar has been banned from the clergy for drunken behaviour and sexual indiscretions. Let us not forget Luke 23, a plumber from Dagenham who she met on the internet. Her congregation got suspicious when she said today's hymns are him, 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 and those two fellas from the back. Let's go. Fingers on buzzers, 2 more things to guess.
Well, it's been a big hoo-ha, hasn't it? The banks have they've took this 1.5% off. The government told them to take 1.5% off interest rates, and some of the banks are refusing to pass it on to us. And they've actually said, we're not charities. We're not charities. You're like, well, hold on a minute, you've got short fucking memories, haven't you? Remember the other week when you were like, can we lend some money?
Jimmy, a lot of people are buying gold as well.
A lot of people are buying
They're
gold.
buying
I know
gold.
you're doing very well, Louis.
And
Don't go on
they're
about it.
They're keeping it at home.
Oh, I'm buying gold.
One thing I've noticed is Cockney rhyming slang. Merchant banker no longer means wanker.
What does it mean now?
Unemployed.
OK, let's see if the banking crisis is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, the economic crisis continues this week. I'm not an expert, but the way I see it, the economy is going to get worse before it gets better. Or better before it gets worse. Or stay the same. One of those 3. Fingers on buzzers, 1 more thing to get.
Peaches Geldof and her 99-day marriage. There's a piece of cheese in my fridge that's been there longer than their marriage. It's ridiculous.
It's not over yet, by the way. They're only in crisis talks.
Gordon Brown's having crisis talks.
I know, but Peaches is too.
The only reason I think Peaches Geldof is famous is that the readers of Heat magazine think she's one of their 5 a day. She's one of those inexplicably famous people. I don't mind people being famous if they can do something, if they can act or sing or murder.
Right, shall we have a look and see whether Peach's divorce is one of the most talked about things this week? Yes, this is the story. Peaches Geldof's marriage is in crisis after just 98 days. Bob Geldof called her stupid, immature and thoughtless before finally settling on Peaches. So that's our top 5 for this week. In other news, an exam board has removed a Gary Glitter song from its GCSE music paper. You don't want Gary Glitter to be associated with the words, shh, turn over, you've got an hour. Well, at the end of that round, Sean, Louis and Kayvan have 2 points. Jason, Lee and Jenny have 3 points. Our next round is called Pick of the Polls. Jason, Jenny, Lee, what do you like the look of?
We'll go with the England football fan.
Let's have a look at a clip to illustrate the question.
With Grandad, it's more of a street party than a street fight.
Right, it's not Grandad, it's our Grandad. He's ours, he's Millwall's Grandad.
They know me at the South Stand up there, because I tend to get up a bit and give him a few songs.
He's Millwall's Dalai Lama, he's Millwall's spiritual leader.
He'll look round and he'll see all the sad faces and he'll just get up and have a little go.
Fuck 'em all! Fuck 'em all, that's how I start off, you know. Fuck 'em all! Fuck 'em all! United West Ham Liverpool!
Louis, I think he sang that like he meant every word.
Yeah. And he made it his own as well,
He did, he owned that song.
He owned the song, yeah.
Is he potentially world-class?
No.
I like the idea that he said he's our Dalai Lama. That's absolutely fantastic. Because the Dalai Lama is famous for going, what do we think of China? Fuck 'em all!
That is a hell of a confident fella, though, too. I don't know if you've ever tried to start a song at the football by yourself and think, yeah, this one will go well, you know, and then see if people are joining. You just look like a tit.
I try it with, I'm every woman, it's all in me, Chelsea!
When you go to football now, it's like everyone's got Alzheimer's, the early stages, isn't it? Because all the songs are, who are you? Who's the bastard in the black? How did I get here? What's my name? What's my pudding?
I do, when I make up football chants that nobody sings. Right. And I do put a lot of work in. And Chelsea had a player called Hernan Crespo for a while. And I made up this long, long song.
Let's hear it.
And, oh, Hernan Crespo, will you marry me? Oh, Hernan Crespo, will you marry me with your volley, bicycle kick and lob? Oh, no, fair maid, I cannot marry you because I have no boots to put on. So off she went.
But this didn't catch on.
Oh, off she went to Abramovich's chest and got him some boots of the very, very best. Never caught on.
OK, your related question. 24% of football fans wouldn't what?
Sing any of my songs.
Is it 24% of football fans wouldn't really know the parentage of the referee, but are willing to hazard a guess?
OK, then, you're a football fan. Who do you support?
I support Liverpool.
You're from Liverpool, aren't you? You sound like you're from Liverpool.
I am, yeah. No, I'm not. I'm from Kilburn. But
near Liverpool.
when you're Iranian, you either support Manchester United or you support Liverpool, because when you start supporting teams, you are, you know, it's 86 and Liverpool are #1 and Manchester United #2. So
funny that, because I'm from near Liverpool and we used to have to support either Iraq or Iran.
Everyone thinks they know how to manage a football team, but I play Football Manager, right, when I get home. I love that game, right? I play it all the time. And my wife comes in, she's like, what are you doing this? It's not even a game. I say, it's tactics, love. And they're all up here, tactics. I mean, I probably shouldn't wear a suit. I've probably gone too far.
My dad's retired to the coast and he likes his football. He goes to watch like a team in like a really low non-league football. And what he likes about it is you can go there and when you have a cup of tea, you get like a china mug. You know, and there's a plate with biscuits on it and you can take some biscuits. And he went the following season, they got promoted. And he went to the tea hut and this woman gave him a styrofoam cup and he had to buy like a, you know, a sealed packet of biscuits. And he said, well, what's happened to the cup and where's the plate of biscuits? He said, oh, well, we've got promoted to another league and you're not allowed to have china cups. And he went, hope we get relegated.
It's to do with male bonding.
Wouldn't snog the bloke next to them. Wouldn't kiss or fondle or put their hand down their trousers when they score a goal. You know, sometimes when you score, you just want to grab the guy and really stick it.
Nearest damn it, that is the right answer.
Sorry
yes.
about that, Louis.
The answer is, in fact, hug. Sean, Kayvan and Louis, your turn to choose. What do you like the look of?
The world.
You like the look of the world?
Yeah.
Half the world's population has never what?
Shat in a plastic bag.
It's exactly what I have on the card, yes.
I have shat in a plastic bag.
Why did you shit in a plastic bag?
I was 13 years old and I forgot my keys. After school, and my mum, as a security measure, locks the door between the kitchen and the rest of the house. So I managed to break into the kitchen, and then I got there, I thought I was home dry, ready, you know, you kind of relax a little bit, you're like, okay, I found it, it's time, and the door was locked.
Why didn't you go back out and do it in the garden?
I was shit in my own garden.
Half the world's population has never backcombed a badger. Ooh, a big like goth badger.
Is it half the world has never used a computer?
Oh, you're not far off with that, yeah.
Half the world's population has used a computer. Oh, that's the same thing, isn't it?
Give us a clue, Jimmy. Is it mobile phone?
That is the right answer.
Is it?
Yeah, it's near enough to get the point, yeah. Yes. Half the world's population has never made or received a phone call. It's like half the world's population doesn't care who gets voted off X Factor. So at the end of that round, it's 4 points for Sean's team and 3 points for Jason's team. And the winner is the name of our final round. Here is your first one. Most annoying thing about work colleagues.
The most annoying thing about work colleagues is that they always go running to the boss, accusing you of sexual harassment. And it doesn't matter how many times you move jobs, different town, different name. It keeps cropping up as a recurring theme. He's doing it again! It's like the 8th time in a year, and none of it is true. Isn't that?
Is it when they come in and they go, oh, I had a dream last night, and you really want to just go, can I stop you there? Couldn't give a shit. Right,
I get a bit annoyed with people who do things to me in dreams. So, like, if I had a dream about you, I'd be a bit funny with you the next day.
Would you?
And if you were nice to me, I
You had a dream about me?
would. Not that kind of dream, Jimmy.
I can't stand it when people come in on a Monday morning and they want to tell you what a great time they've had on the weekend.
What, they come in and go, well, yeah, we had a barbecue and it was the kid's birthday?
Yeah.
With their stories of their lives?
I want to fucking...
Jenny, what's the most annoying thing about people on Coronation Street?
The most annoying thing is perhaps that Weatherfield is the most dangerous place to live with, like, there's about 17 murderers in each family on average.
I would imagine that is annoying.
Yeah.
Whenever I watch Coronation Street, I think, how come no one watches
watches
TV? Is it because they're worried they're going to see one of their dead friends on the bill? Probably they go, oh my God, it's my dad on the bill.
Dev goes to my gym.
Does he?
Yeah, he goes to my gym and...
You go to the gym?
Yeah, I go to the gym. There's a lovely cafe.
Most annoying thing about work colleagues?
Is it when they leave their mobile phone on the desk for about 4 hours while they're in a meeting? It just keeps ringing and ringing. It's called a mobile phone. You dickhead, take it with you.
We used to do that thing. If anyone left their phone in the office, we used to take it and send a text. So we did it to my friend Damo. We sent a text to his girlfriend saying, don't worry, she'll never find out. Kiss, kiss. And then she obviously phoned... He came back and that had 67 missed calls. And then so he phoned her and went, no, I don't know what I don't know what you're talking about. No, it must be the guys messing around. Passed us the phone and we went...
Wow.
They're broken up now.
Is it when they suggest you all do a nude calendar? I'd just like to say, no, I won't be Mr. October, Jimmy.
I'd rather be one of the cold months, and then you've got an excuse, haven't you?
I'll give you a clue. Egg is the worst culprit.
Oh, is it smelly sandwiches or
That's the right answer.
Yeah.
Most annoying thing about work colleagues. Yes, the most annoying thing about work colleagues is smelly food.
That is right. The last aeroplane I went on, do you know what they served?
What did they serve?
Rainbow trout in an aeroplane. Can you imagine how much that smelled? Stunk, because you can't open the windows.
OK, next question. Least pleasant voice.
Oh, is it Laura off the X Factor, according to Louis?
Yeah, Louis. Has she got the least pleasant voice, has she?
She was the least pleasant voice last
On
week
that
of
night.
the two in the sing-off. I'm no regrets.
No regrets, just got to move on, live your life.
The worst voices are the ones in my head. The ones in my head that say, start fires. Yes, you. No, I won't kill Jimmy.
Your voices are so evil. That's not... My voice goes, just as I'm dropping off, just goes, have you locked the back door?
Jimmy, give us a clue.
She's from London.
Oh, great, you've narrowed it down to
Hold
16
on.
million.
I was going to say, is it?
She's got big teeth. There you go.
Esther Ranson?
No.
Janet Street Porter.
Correct. Yes, the least pleasant voice is Janet Street Porter's. I'm not saying her voice is bad, but hello, I'm Janet Street Porter in sign language is... Well, that sound tells me it's the end of the round and the end of the show, which means the final scores are Sean, Louis and Kayvan have 4 points, Jason, Lee and Jenny have 5 points. They're tonight's winners. Thanks to all our panellists, our wonderful studio audience, and to all of you for watching at home. That's it from us. Good night.
Cordon Bleu of comedy, James Corden. Match fit, Gabby Logan. And their team captain, Sean Locke. And facing them tonight, one from the top, Harold Vorderman. Steve Jones. And their team captain, Jason Manford. Now, welcome your host, Jimmy Carr.
Hello and welcome to 8 out of 10 Cats, a show about opinion polls, surveys and statistics. Did you know, for example, 34% of men think their personality is their best feature? Hello, 34% of men. 72% of British women are in love right now. What can I say? I've had my hair done. They're only human. And 17% of men can't change a light bulb. 83% of us won't change a light bulb. Either way, you're doing it. Let's get started. What are you talking about? That's the name of our first round. We've polled the nation. Jason's team, what do you think they've been talking about this week?
Exciting VAT news. Yeah. 2.5% has come off VAT. That's right. What are we even still doing here? Let's get to the shops. Come on.
Yes, 2.5%. I mean, we are going to rush out, obviously, because something that cost £100 last week, next week it's going to cost, wait for it, £97.87.
I'm very excited about the 2.5%.
Are you? That's
yes,
marvellous.
because I can finally get that kettle I've had my eye on. It's very tempting me, but I've always gone...
Is it one that's got the light on, that when you switch it on it goes red when it boils and then it goes to blue?
Yeah. I was quite surprised at the things that accrue VAT. It's normally a luxury item. But I had a new roof put on my house, right? And that got VAT, and I thought, nobody could ever think of roof as a luxury item. So going, oh, look at Sean with his new roof. Oh, Lord Locke swanning around in his own, all safe and dry. Oh, and his missus, the Queen of Sheba. No, we just sit in our house with the rain pissing down on the sofa. Quite interesting the extents they've gone to, this massive borrowing to get us out of this recession. And I think rather than borrowing money, what the government should do, we should sell stuff. You know, we sell, like the Isle of Wight. Sell that.
We don't give a fuck if we've got the Isle of Wight.
Yeah, sell it.
Sell it.
Sell it.
Yeah. Sell it.
Presumably there'll be people watching this in the Isle of Wight going,
No, but why don't they just, you know, when we've got comic relief, instead of giving it away, just keep it.
It reminds me of, like, about a month ago, I was in McDonald's, right? And I was buying Are you saying it because I'm fat or because it's so bad?
Because it's so bad.
Right, OK. The world I live in at the moment is so... I'm not joking. It is more acceptable for me to talk to my friends about smoking crack and taking coke than it is... Because you go to people on cards, you hear my mates going, I did, like, so much MDMA and cocaine last night. Some people go, oh, yeah. Someone goes, I had a cheeseburger. So they go, no, you didn't. How can you put that crap in your system? Like that. So I was just buying, right? I was just buying a fillet of fish, right? And the guy said to me, do you want fries with that? And I said, no, just the burger, thanks. And he went, the thing is, if you buy the fries, it is a bit more money, but you get the fries.
James, did you get the fries?
Of course I did.
Good man.
OK, let's have a look and see whether these tax cuts are one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, the most talked about thing. This is the story. Gordon Brown has announced cuts in VAT. High earners are going to be taxed at 45%. Well done, Carol. Got out just in time. OK, Sean, your team, what else have the nation been talking about?
Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson,
Michael
yeah.
Jackson.
Tell me more.
I got confused because I thought that he was teaming up to do a duet with Shakin' Stevens. I got quite excited.
I don't know how long you have to leave it between being accused of major sex crimes and a comeback tour.
Rather than going on tour and playing venues, he's just playing courtrooms around the world, isn't it? We'll probably have a Michael Jackson on tour, and it'll be like the Old Bailey, you know, settled out of court, LA, acquitted.
I think he should do a musical. I think he should, you know, like a big West End Jackson musical.
I
And
think
you could have, like, Gary Coleman playing the young Michael Jackson. And you could have Darnell from Big Brother playing the, like, thinking.
He gets a lot of stick, Michael Jackson. He gets a lot of stick from everyone. But I will say this about him, right? He is without question a fucking lunatic. He's mental. Like, just when it couldn't get any weirder.
Yes, yeah.
The moving to Devon. Like, at that point, you thought, well, that's it. That's the end of now the Jackson thing. The whole thing is to make a great film one day and they end in Devon.
It'd be great if they opened a tea shop. The Jacksons opened a coffee tea. He goes, you go in, you're driving, oh, I can have a lovely cream tea. And then Michael Jackson comes out and goes, you want clotted cream? Clotted cream?
Say something else. Please say something else.
You want the raspberry jam? Tea or coffee? We sell our own teapots. Hey, Teeny. You sit over there. It's a lovely view of the harbour.
Let's see whether Michael Jackson was one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, this is the story that Michael Jackson has settled his dispute with an Arab sheikh out of court. My favourite Jackson is Randy, whenever he's around children. No, Randy Jackson, because he's got kids of his own. Jason's team, what else have the nation been talking about this week?
I'm a Celebrity again, is it?
Yes.
I love it. Would you do it? Would you ever go on
I'd
it?
never go on.
What do you mean you'd never go on? You've only just lost your job. Give it 6 months, love. Come on.
I decided about 3 years ago to stop watching for a year and then tape it, but then watch it next year while this one's on. Because it's exactly the same every year.
You are missing out on the legend that is Timmy Mallet this year.
Oh, Timmy Mallet,
The
yes.
legend.
You say legend.
He was sent in to stir things up, but I feel that somehow the line between stir things up and act like a total bell end.
You are talking
Blurred.
about one of my oldest friends here.
He's the bell end.
I used to be on the Wide Awake Club, and obviously Timmy was one of them, one of the presenters. And I
This
used
is
to do
my
that every
favourite ever. Before
Saturday
you even
morning.
start, this is my favourite ever name drop story. One of my best friends. Yeah, Timmy Mallet, yeah, we hang out, whatever.
There's a gentleman in Bristol who has been his agent for 27 years, and he's been mine for 22
Busy
years.
job.
Can you imagine that when the phone goes? What's that noise?
George Takei, you know the guy that...
No,
Mr.
him
Sulu?
I know.
George, yes.
George Sulu, right? He's 71. He didn't come out till he was 68, right?
No.
He's 68. He came out 3 years ago. He came out and said, I'm gay. You think, why bother at that point, you know? At 68, you're in bed by 9. Most of the gay clubs don't get going till midnight. The tool shed's not worth popping in till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
What I don't get is why the celebrities tell the producers what their fears are. You know, you see it in all the interviews, don't they? Go, I'm terrified of spiders and heights and things. And you go, well, that's going to be in your Bush Tucker trial, isn't it?
Exactly,
If I was on there, I'd go, I hate foot rubs and lap dances.
Let's have a look and see if I'm a Celebrity is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, I'm a Celebrity, get me out of here continues. Timmy Mallet's family have already made preparations for his return. They've moved house. OK, Sean's team, what else have the nation been talking about this week?
Is it the tasers? The police have been issued with tasers.
Yeah.
But only 30,000 of them have got them. Not every policeman's going to carry one. And then you know there's going to be some police like coming home and their wife going, did you get one?
So some of the critics are saying that they could be really harmful for people with weak hearts. And I just thought, well, people with weak hearts really need to start being better behaved, don't they?
The main problem with it is after you've been shot with them for 6 months, you've got a bubble perm. These courtrooms look like Liverpool in the 80s.
Apparently, there's a guy, it's his job to test him. I mean, literally, they test him on him, and he's been tasered 200 times. That's got to be the shittest job in the world. So, what do you do for a living?
Was that Welsh?
Welsh taser specialist.
Don't you start with a Welsh thing, Jimmy?
Don't you start with a Welsh?
No, don't. No, we have a Welsh girl out. Welsh girl.
It's 3 of us.
He's
We'll
a
kick
little-
your fucking head in.
Yeah.
OK, let's have a look and see if it's up there. This is the story that the Home Office plans to introduce taser guns to all police forces. Senior police officers have described the taser gun as a right laugh. OK, one more thing to get fingers on buzzers. What else have the nation been talking about?
Is it this silly story in the paper about Gordon Ramsay and this woman? The only proof we've got is that they were in the same hotel at the same time, right?
Yeah.
And I was once in the same hotel as Boyzone, but I wasn't... I mean, I tried it on with a gay one, but I didn't, you know, I didn't get anywhere, that's what I'm saying. But, you know, the papers keep saying a source close to the, you know, to Gordon, or a source, you know, they can do this thing. There was one of them that said they went in the room and a source said they had sex. Now, that can only be 1 or 2 people, can't it? Unless they're interviewing the curtains.
The problem is, it's Gordon Ramsay. It's Gordon Ramsay, and he's near sources all the time.
I mean, my tip, I think, is if you're going to have an affair, don't do it with someone who literally wrote the book on having an affair. You know, she writes books about it. She had an affair with Jeffrey Archer. You wouldn't get in the car with someone who wrote a book on how to kill a passenger. You know what I mean?
I'm doing his cook-along show tomorrow. So,
Are you going to say anything? Can you say anything?
Am I going to say anything? Am I going to mention no? Busy week?
Let's have a look and see whether Gordon Ramsay is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, this is the story. Gordon Ramsay has been accused of having an affair. Ramsay was caught red-handed. He was making a beetroot salad. So that's our top 5 for this week. In other news, authorities in Spain have announced they want Benidorm to become a UNESCO heritage site in a project named Operation Turd Polish. And Bangkok Airport has been taken over by protesters. The protesters say they'll blockade the airport for a long time, which in my experience means it'll be over in about 15 minutes. So at the end of that round, Sean, James and Gabby have 2 points. Jason, Carol and Steve have 3 points. Our next round is called Pick of the Polls. Sean, James and Gabby, you're to go first. What do you like the look of?
Can we have the lady on the exercise bike?
Lady on the bike.
Let's have a look at a clip to illustrate your statistic.
Welcome to Laugh Your Abs Away. My name is Carrie Beard, and I'm here to teach you how to have tighter, firmer, and leaner abs by incorporating laughter with exercise. Deep breath in. 1, 2. 7. 'I'm Carrie Beard, and keep laughing your abs away. I will buy that.
Buy that? You bring it out at Christmas.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Can you imagine doing that in the gym? Imagine just in the gym, it's dead quiet, there's a bit of music on, a Galaxy or something playing in the back, and it's just you going...
OK, your related question. 63% of women avoid exercise because they think it makes them look stupid. True or false?
Jimmy, can I just point out that when they cut your shot up, the only words in that are "look stupid" above your head.
You like doing it, Sophie?
Yeah, she loves it.
Yeah.
You love it.
She can do the splits.
Can you do the splits?
I can do the splits.
Yeah.
Will you do the splits?
I will do the splits for you if you want.
Yeah, definitely. I will. You've got to go outside. Can you actually do the
right
splits?
trousers on?
I have. I've not
Oh,
warmed up.
my God!
I can do this, look.
OK, 63% of women avoid exercise because they think it makes them look stupid.
The government should hire Steve Jones to go around schools saying to 13-year-old girls, I will like you a
Whoa,
lot
stop
more.
there, Gabby. You're in a lot of trouble doing that before. I'm not going back that place.
True or false? 63% of women avoid exercise because they think it makes them look stupid. Sean, what do you think? True
I
or
think
false?
it's true. I don't think it's true.
You think you're going to go false?
I think less. I think women have got more self-confidence than that.
OK.
False.
You're going false?
Yeah. Yeah, well, we'll go with Carol then, eh? We'll go false.
OK, I can tell you the answer is false.
Yeah.
Only 23% of women avoid exercise because they think it makes them look stupid. OK, what do you like the look of? Jason, your turn to choose.
Turkey boys.
OK, you've gone turkey. It was announced this week that the price of Christmas turkeys is set to rise. So we polled our studio audience and asked them, if you had to make a choice, what would you give up? Christmas dinner or Christmas presents?
Whoever invented Christmas dinner or came up with, I want to shake, I want to kiss his face, right?
Yeah. You don't put any weight on, do you, on Christmas Day?
No.
That's our little. That's our little gift off Jesus.
Fact.
He said, eat as many matchsticks and miniature heroes as you want. It's in the Bible.
I don't like presents.
How do you not like presents?
First thing I say when I open a present, the second thing I say, first thing I say is, keep your seat. Second thing I always say, and I get right up close, say you're my dad and you give me a present, I get right up close, holding the present and go, I hope this isn't my main present.
I was relieved when Father Christmas wasn't real. I remember going home and speaking to Dad, going, Dad, is Father Christmas real? And he said, no, it's not real. I remember thinking, God, because I remember thinking, how is everyone all right with this guy just coming in our house? Yeah. We spend all year, like, Mum going, what was that? Was that someone coming in? Malcolm, you've locked that door, haven't you? The back door's locked, isn't it? Yeah. And then suddenly, one night of the year, we're going, yeah, there's a carrot, a pie, some milk. Yeah. Help yourself, we'll be in bed. Just have free run of the house. I remember thinking, this is insane. Make sure you go in and leave a present at the end of James's bed. I'm all right, Mum. Leave it downstairs under the tree.
That does look like a large turkey. What would you say? Would you guess that weight of that turkey is?
It's not actually one of the questions we've got.
Well, the brilliant thing about this game is, we'll never know. I'm going to invent a machine that you can weigh things in photographs. You take photographs, something like that big camera thing there.
Yeah.
I'm not spoiling it for people at home. This is filmed in the studio. So you photograph it, and then you put it into my machine, my weighing things in photographs machine. It goes... It calculates it, and then it gives you a weight.
The only problem with that is that you have then eradicated the guess the weight game at Fates.
Yeah.
You've ended it. You've killed it. If you're happy with... If you can live with that, if you can sleep at night, then you carry on with your fangled machine. Next, you've got a camera, you take a picture of it, and it guesses how many sweets are in a jar. Yeah. You take a picture of a teddy, it tells you the name. I'm glad you are killing Fates.
I'm an evil genius.
You are.
OK, so what do you think people would give up? Steve Jones, Christmas dinner or Christmas presents?
Sean, could you invent a machine that would give us both?
What? So I could reverse the polarity of this question?
Yes.
I need a pair of pliers, a battery and some salmon.
Don't ask.
Set to work immediately.
What would you go for?
But this machine is going to take a while.
Back it up! Back it up! No, the blue one, you idiot! All right, try with haddock.
Sean Locke saves Christmas. OK, so what do you think? Christmas presents?
I think people would rather give up dinner.
Me too.
Yes,
And we think the opposite.
Whoa, hold on. hey, listen, I know you were like a little renegade on Countdown. Do what you want in that corner with the numbers, but right here, there's a system and there's rules.
I didn't take the pin out.
And I'm the bloody captain.
You think they'd rather give up presents than you think dinner? Okay.
And what do you think?
I think they'd rather give up presents.
OK, I can tell you that 61% of our audience said they would rather give up Christmas dinner.
Yay, we know.
I do my Christmas shopping in October, wrap all the presents and hide them in the airing cupboard. It was terrible last year. She got a dead puppy. So at the end of that round, it's 4 points for Sean's team and 4 points for Jason's team. Yeah, it's all to play for as we go into the final round, which is called And the Winner Is. Right, first one. Top thing people miss about childhood.
Is it the satisfaction of bellowing, I'm finished, and somebody coming up and wiping your ass?
I did that today. My daughter could quite easily do that herself. But she says, I'm ready, I'm ready.
Bloody hang on, I'm trying to read Grazia here, Mum. Get on with it.
Is it limitless possibilities? My mother told me when I was a kid, she asked me what did I want to be when I grow up, and I told her I wanted to be a fire engine. It's just fucking crazy, but a part of me still wants to.
Have 6 firemen ride you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I miss most of all scabs.
Yeah.
I get 2 to 3 hours out of a couple of scabs. To me, it was the PlayStation of my day. Get a scab, you just get it going and lift it right off. Just so it's almost sort of hanging off like a saucepan lid. Just keep flicking it.
Did yours taste like bacon?
No.
I miss maths homework.
You're literally the only person in the world.
Do you know what I like about being young, and small anyway, is that there's no small talk. No sort of chat about how are you, what are you up... People come up to me now and say, what have you been up to? I think, well, what do you think? Eat, sleep, drink, I killed a moth, whatever. When you're 9, you go cycle around to your mate's house, you knock on the door, you go, do you want to come for a bike ride? And he doesn't say anything, he just goes, no. And you go, all right.
Top thing people miss about childhood.
Playing out?
Playing in the street.
That's the right answer. Yes, the top thing people miss about childhood is playing in the street. When I was a kid, we used to play swing grope, bin finger, knicker chase, hop, snatch, crack. It was just a more innocent time. OK, next one. All right. Worst thing you can do on a date. What is that?
Is it celebrate your 3-minute anniversary? Woo! Congratulations! You must have been on a lot of dates, you know this.
I've had some nightmare dates. I went out on a first date a while back, actually, and this is honest-to-God truth. And it was going quite well. Got into some conversation about scars, bizarrely, and we're saying, oh, what's your biggest scar? And I'm like, oh, I got a scar on my arm. They're like, what about you? And she said, mine's internal. I was like, what? She goes, yeah, I was having sex with this guy a while back, and he was so well endowed, he ruptured me inside. There's more. She goes, I went to hospital, I almost died. How self-assured do I look? I'm like, I can't promise that, but I'll do my best.
Can I take this opportunity to apologise?
What I like to do, first date, first thing, go have a Chinese burn. And then I lay out all the photos of them going to and from work for the last 2 weeks. And I go, don't like those shoes, they'll have to go.
Take your mum.
That is the right answer.
Wow.
Yes, the worst thing you can do on a date is bring your parents. I took my girlfriend on a date and my parents just happened to be there. I say date, it was my nana's funeral. There was food and booze and everyone got dressed up. What does she want? Well, that sound tells me it's the end of the round and the end of the show, which means the final scores are Jason, Carol and Steve have 4 points. Sean, James and Gabby are the winners with 6 points. Thanks to all our panellists, our wonderful studio audience, and to all of you watching at home. That's it for this series. Good night.
10 Cats, London Calling, Ken Livingston, Babyface Comic, Jack Whitehall, and their team captain, Jason Manford. And facing them tonight, Mr. Peep Show, David Mitchell, Dancing with the Stars, Claudia Winkleman, and their team captain, Sean Locke. Now, welcome your host, Jimmy Carr.
Hello and welcome to 8 out of 10 Cats, a show about opinion polls, surveys and statistics. Did you know, for example, women who read romance novels have twice as much sex as the national average? Well, I say sex, they yield the precious softness of their silken female innocence to the crushing firmness of his intent. 90% of all teenagers suffer from acne, which is a good thing. Think how high teenage pregnancies would be if some of them didn't look like pizzas. And the average woman has 17 square feet of skin. Most of Danny Minogue's is in a bulldog clip round the back of her head. Let's get started. What are you talking about? That's the name of our first round. We've teamed up with a leading polling organisation and they've asked the British nation what stories they've been discussing this week. Sean's team, you want to go first? What have the nation been talking about this week?
I imagine everyone's talking about Strictly Come Dancing and John Sargent stepping down. I think that's what they're talking about.
I haven't talked about anything else.
No, he's resigned because he felt bad. He said that there was just going to be too much angst and too much anger, and so I think he did the gentlemanly thing and he was like, you know what, I'll take myself out and let the best dancer win.
If you see any clips of him actually dancing, they're always shocking. There's one that he looks like a caveman, just like he's just about to pick her up over his shoulder, just throw her into a cave. I'll have you later.
Let's have a look at a shot of him.
Look, that's the one.
Yeah, if you saw that in the street, you would call the police.
It's a terrible dancer. I would actually pay him to keep still. That's how bad it is.
This is what I was hoping he was building up to, that in the last round he would defiantly stand still and win out of popularity alone. That's the way he was heading, because essentially it's proved one thing, that this country doesn't give a shit about dancing. We'd rather vote for a very well-respected political commentator, which is what he is. A good political commentator. He can't move at all. Better if he stays still. That's terrible dancing. But he's a great guy. We prefer him as a concept to all this fucking dancing.
I just feel sorry for John Sargent as well, because he looks as though he's constantly in the grips of an allergic reaction, which is very unfortunate. But I think it's good that he's achieved this without the sex, because the world that he works in, politics, is something that's become saturated with sex. You've got Obama, who's a very sexy man, he's done very well. People like Ken, who has a kind of different... Ken, you have a kind of rougher sex appeal, and when you had the little moustache, there was... just kind of... You know what
Get a room!
I just say...
No one's hit on me like this in years.
Oh, I'm sorry. I do realise as well, a teenage boy coming onto a politician last time, that happened to Lib Dem lost his job, so... they will back off.
He might come back, though, because there's a Facebook group. There's about 400 of them already saying, bring John Sargent back. And they brought Whispers back. You know, that is how strong... That is how strong the medium of Facebook is.
Those groups don't mean anything, though. There's one that a mate of mine started up saying, if this group gets 1,000 members, Jack Whitehall will shave his pubis. I'm not doing it.
I don't even know why Ken started it. It was never going to happen. Back to John Sargent.
Yes. He's doing a farewell dance.
He's doing a farewell dance?
A farewell waltz?
The hacker.
Farewell.
I think you should do the hacker. To the judges.
They've been so rude, all those dance judges, to John. They asked him on the thing. They know he's in his 60s and a bit portly. And how surprised are they? Every week, your dancing wasn't brilliant, you political commentator in your 60s. I was on Len Goodman. He was one of the judges. He's been rude to him. I've been on a comedy panel show with him. I didn't say, you're not very fucking funny, are you?
Well, let's have a look and see whether John Sargent walking off Strictly Come Dancing is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, this is the story John Sargent has pulled out of Strictly Come Dancing. I pulled out of America's Next Top Model. She was livid. She wanted a baby. Jason, Ken, Jack, what else have the nation been talking about this week?
I'm a Celebrity, get me out of here.
You've been watching that?
Up until the point where Paddock took his clothes off.
Yeah, so this is Brian Paddock. He was the Lib Dem candidate for mayor.
Yeah.
He's the top-ranking gay policeman.
Yes. Yeah. But he doesn't stop going on about it. He's mentioned he's gay about 10 times already. He's gone, yeah, so anyway, I mean, as a gay man, he's done that a few times, and he's gone, yeah, I mean, I'm getting married in January to a man. You know, and he's done expecting like 2 weeks ago, I'm just going to go for some wood. I do like willies. All right, we get it.
Would you think about going in there?
No. I wouldn't mind, because, I mean, I did a lot of work with reptiles. That was my interest as a kid and all that. So I'd have no problem dealing with all these insects or tarantula crawling all over me.
You could be, if you were a superhero, Ken, because you're interested in reptiles, you could be like Lizard Man, couldn't you? Lizard Man, does whatever a lizard can. Not much. What I put on... Lizard Man.
Ant and Dec are in trouble because they said bollocks 3 times on the show. But I read in the Mirror today that Daily Mirror have got like a Stop Swearing on TV campaign. You think, of course, it's not stop swearing on TV. It stops swearing on TV, like, unnecessarily, innit? You know what I mean? Like, after 9 o'clock, we sort of relax a little bit. If they start swearing on the news, then fair enough, let's get a little bit upset. Or Antiques Roadshow, it's worth fuck all, mate. You know?
I was watching the news with my dad, and my dad's quite, like, old-fashioned and right-wing, and he's a bit mental, and Robert Mugabe came on, and he literally, he was like, oh, he's the most odious, horrible, wretched and he said the word, and my mum went mental. She was like, you do not use that word in my house. You do not use that word in front of my children. I realised he's a bad person, but you do not use that word. He swung around to my mum, no word of a lie, looked her in the eye, and he said, this is typical of you, Hillary. Always defending Mugabe.
Your mum's come out of that story quite badly, in my eyes.
My dad also, when Ken first got voted in, I remember it was the morning, and my dad walked into my room, didn't even say good morning, just stood there in the darkness, and he went, Livingston's back. No explanation.
Where does he live?
Yeah, he lives in London.
Does he drive into the centre?
Occasionally, yeah.
I lost him, yes.
Yeah. You lost everybody.
Well done, though, because they're thinking about doing a congestion charge in Manchester, so nice one for that.
OK, let's have a look and see whether I'm a Celebrity is one of the most talked about things. Most talked about thing this week? Yes, the new series of I'm a Celebrity has started. I was going to vote for Esther Ranson, but I got confused and rang Childline. Sean, Claudia and David, what else have the nation been talking about?
Is it, my favourite story, the Michael Jackson? Yes. A rich Saudi prince wrote some songs. And he paid him millions of pounds to sing them, and he went, no, I don't want to do it.
Michael Jackson has said the money was a gift and that he doesn't owe the sheikh anything.
I once had to meet him, and he had a massive, gnarled, beaten up, sort of almost covered in sort of crustaceans or sick hand. I almost got fired because I forgot to ask him a question because I was obsessed by the hand that was like the same size as my torso. You've never seen a hand like it.
I've got a feeling, Claudia, you wouldn't make a very good witness. In a trial.
Michael Jackson would solve all his problems if he went in I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here for millions of pounds.
Or worked as a digger.
Nice.
Let's have a look and see what's up there. Yes, this is the story. Michael Jackson is being sued by the King of Bahrain's son. I think Michael Jackson should get back to doing what he does best. Or make music, one of the two. OK, Jason's team, what else have the nation been talking about?
Prince Charles, 60.
His party, the other people they had entertaining. One of them was Rod Stewart, and he sang Do You Think I'm Sexy? Apparently they had to strap Edward to his chair.
Maybe at some point Charles went, Camilla, get off the karaoke, let someone else have a go. Oh, sorry, Rod. Sorry, Rod.
just officially say that I don't want him to be king if it means he stops making his sausages.
Oh.
Is this the bit where we get to endorse products? No. Because there's a whiskey I've been enjoying recently.
Well, she said, but hasn't she said that she's gonna abdicate at 87? Or sources have said in the palace.
87. That's a bit random.
Yeah, she's got. It was 5 years. She said. In
If at
5 years.
86, she'll go cuckoo and she'll forget that.
Yeah.
She'll be running around back in the palace in a nappy. Mother, you said I could take over. He's never getting the job.
Let's have a look if Prince Charles turning 60 is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, it was Prince Charles' 60th birthday on Friday. Can you imagine the look on his mum's face when Charles finally becomes king? It'll be something like this. Fingers on buzzers, one more thing to go.
Yeah. Is it the pirates in Somalia? I was tempted to go Somalia, but I didn't.
Everyone loves the pirate voice.
Apparently, they had no idea how much they were going to actually get. It was like the haul of the century.
But also, they say that. They say this ship is worth £100 million, but it's not like nicking a TV. You can't sell it down a market. You know, yeah, we've got some TVs and some fake DVDs, and round the back, we've got a massive oil tanker the size of Canary Wharf.
I'm looking forward to the guys in Sainsbury's car park going, you'd like to buy a litre of fuel?
What I think is interesting about pirates, though, is, and having young children, you go to, is that pirates, which are with sort of thieves and murderers, are now lovable kids' characters. And I was wondering, in 100 years' time, will children be going to parties dressed as, like, terrorists? You know? And instead of saying, avast ye mateys, they'll be going, infidel, I spit on your decadent Western ways. And the parents are going, no, isn't he funny?
Let's have a look and see whether pirates are one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, this is the story. Somali pirates have hijacked a Saudi supertanker. Bloodthirsty, peg-legged, with a lust for cash. I bet Paul McCartney can't bear to watch the news. So that's our top 5 for this week. In other news, it's been confirmed by a German priest that Hitler did, in fact, only have one ball. Incredible, but true. If you're watching Tony Robinson, I'll meet you outside the Albert Hall with a shovel for a Time Team Christmas special no one will forget. At the end of that round, Sean, David and Claudia have 3 points. Jason, Ken and Jack have 2 points. So our next round is Pick of the Polls. Jason, Ken and Jack, your turn to choose first. What do you like the look of?
Happy Ken. Let's go for a picture of Ken.
40% of people think politicians are sexy. True or false?
False. Straight in there, yes.
Hello. You've got a little bit of a fetish about it, haven't you?
I just want him to hold me. And then... so just, you know, lie in bed together, just whispering in my ear about socialism, and then it's... Not in a gay way, just to kind of, you know...
No, there's nothing gay about that. There's nothing gay about spooning with an older politician. Do you want to see a sexy politician? This is Ken in his prime on TV AM, exercising with Mad Lizzie.
It's Ken Livingstone, who said, can you possibly help give me some exercises?
I went to my doctor because sitting behind a desk at the GLC for 3 years, I put on about 1.5 stone and I was starting to feel run down. And he suggested exercises, so I'm here.
Now, when you get very tense and to strengthen up the arms, you do a little punching. So you bend the legs and from behind the shoulders, you hit in front. In fact, it's easier to think of all the things you want to hit as you do it, and that will help relieve the tension. This is quite simple. You can keep your foot flat down. You're used to doing some exercises.
I'm used to avoiding things.
I'll watch him doing the work, and we'll see how well he's doing. We'll have him back in a couple of months to check up on the exercises. Ken, you may stop now. Thank you very much.
I'll be back in 2 months.
Right, thanks.
Wow. The story behind that was I was fighting a by-election and you couldn't get any TV coverage, so that's the only thing I could get on to do. And as soon as I'd been on, the Lib Dem candidate demanded to come on and exercise the following day.
The Lib Dem candidate saw that and said, that's gold dust. That is votes right there.
So 40% of people think politicians are sexy. True or false?
I don't think people think politicians as even sexual. Like, I always think Gordon Brown is quite asexual. You don't imagine him getting into number 10 and going, "Right, Sarah! The one-eyed monster's after you! Both of them!"
Claudia, what do you think?
Yeah, because I think power is sexy. And they can go, "Don't worry, love, I've got more Post-its," or I don't know what politicians do. I can change the world.
Post-its?
I've got Post-its, I could change the world.
I love stationery. If a man... I married my husband because he brought me home a protractor.
Protractor?
Yeah, I like specialist. No, the noise of a... Bear with me. The noise of a stationery cupboard. That's foreplay.
If only I'd known that when I was younger.
No, you thought grey sweatpants might be the thing. Yeah, but I want it later. OK, 40% of people think politicians are sexy.
Anne Widdecombe's quite sexy, if you like a sort of choir boy with the bends look. Choir boy, she looks like she's been 30 metres under the sea and just shot right to the top.
I don't think you don't get much of an idea that politicians have any power anymore, though. No. All they constantly...
Well, don't have a go at him. He got voted out.
I voted for Ken. And if I'd got my way, Ken would be Mayor of London and Boris Johnson would be here. And, you know, Boris Johnson's fucking funny.
So what are you going to go for? 40% of people think politicians are sexy. True or false?
Yeah, false.
It's too modest, this one. I'd say it's more. I'd say it's like 60, 70%.
Well, I'm going to overrule you because I'm disturbed. So I think I'm going to go with Ken and we'll go false.
Sean, what do you think?
Yeah, we think it's... Claudia thinks it's true.
OK, well, I can tell you the answer is false. Only 5% of people think politicians are sexy. I'd say that Gordon Brown has a certain je ne sais quoi, if that's French for oily skin and one eye. What are you doing at the moment? What's your next thing?
I wander around the world talking about congestion charging, climate change, and solid waste management, and which are the best fought type of bacteria to digest human sewage and things like that, you know.
Is it Yakult?
Bifidus digestivum, Bifidus actiregularis, that sounds like real science. L. casei immunitas, the only bacterium with an initial.
Didn't you study at Laboratoire Garnier?
I'm one of their top scienticians.
Yes. I love those adverts as well, the tube and the circle. Those are the two main bits.
You know, well, a new bacteria, Bifidus feelbetterium. Spendius hard-earned monerium on bit of crappius.
OK, Sean seemed to guess. What do you like the look of?
I like the picture of the two guys helping each other with their ties.
You've chosen the fight. Let's have a look at a clip to illustrate the statistic.
All the techniques that I'm going to show you today, they actually work. I use them, so you can use them too. Now, I was standing like this and talking to the guy, and suddenly, boom, a headbutt. Bang, follow up with a headbutt. Boom, knee to the head. And look what we got here. Smack his face into the ambience of the place. He's choking me from the back. He's got the choke, step to the side, and from here, boom, in the groin, lift him up. Take him down or slam him with his back. Don't you ever do this. Okay, I'm sorry. Bang, bang, bang. No, I'm not. I don't believe in an eye for an eye. I believe in 2 eyes for an eye. But that's just me.
Looky look. OK, the related question for both teams. Most British men have never been in a fight. True or false?
In 1946, the answer would definitely be yes. No, the biggest fight in history. We were in a fight recently. Yeah, massive. Fucking really kicked off, actually. After about 6 years, there was this load of Germans. They come at us.
Have you boys been in fights?
Yeah, me and David.
We've had a fight earlier.
Yeah, we go tear it up, though, me and David, at football. David's mad Millwall fan. You see him. They call the king of the terraces, aren't they? Leads a big firm. I'm the black knuckle.
I don't even have the vocabulary to join in with this fantasy.
Whenever there's a fight on, like a football match, the commentator always goes, "Nobody wants to see this in the modern game." And I always think, no, I do. I think it's brilliant.
Most British men have never been in a fight. True or false? What are you going to go with?
I'm going to go with true, then.
You're going with true, OK. What are you going to go with?
It'd be nice if it was true, so let's go true.
The answer is false. Most British men have been in a fight. 67% of them. I was in a lot of fights at school. Well, not a lot. One, and it wasn't a fight, it was a debating society, and I wasn't in it, I was watching, but still, don't mess. So at the end of that round, it's 3 points for Sean's team and 3 points for Jason's team. And the winner is the name of our final round. Here is your first one. The nation's favourite treat.
Coronation.
Treat.
Oh, treat. There you go.
No, everyone knows what it is. It's drop kicking a hedgehog, isn't it? You put the special gloves on, the special boots. You go, it's been a couple of months, I deserve another one. you nudge him around a bit with your foot so he curls up into an ice ball. You pick him up, you choose a neighbour's garden about 4 down. You're saying, you're going on holiday. Poof! Beautiful.
Is it when you're having a barbecue and you've run out of burgers and then, as if by magic, a hedgehog lands and starts cooking?
I mean, we know what it is. It's alcohol. That's what it is.
It's not alcohol. The people have lied in the survey.
No, it's something
People have gone, oh, it's like a walk in the country, rather than... That's something I like. I think spending time with my family.
There's got to be cake. It's everybody's
It's not
favourite.
cake. It's something you do with your partner.
Cuddles?
Cuddles is the right answer. OK, worst thing about London?
Crime.
Crime?
Dirt.
Dirt.
Squalor on the streets.
All part of your pledges. I can't believe you didn't get in.
Buskers, those buskers, and you're like, oh, I don't need this iPod now. Now you're playing all my favourite songs in the wrong key on a penny whistle.
Is it people who you're walking behind them and they suddenly stop?
Is it the people you're walking along and you suddenly have an idea and stop and some arsehole walks into the back of you?
Is it buses? You wait around for ages and then you get stabbed.
It does happen on public transport. That's a clever.
Is it that they're too overcrowded?
That's the right answer. London is at its worst in summer, on crowded tube trains, girls in tiny dresses, the sweat pouring down their shoulder blades. It's too hot for bras. Bras are right out of the question. What are we talking about? Well, that sound tells me it's the end of the round and the end of the show, which means the final scores are Sean, David and Claudia have 4 points, Jason, Ken and Jack have 4 points. It's a dead heat. Everyone's a winner. Thanks to all our panellists, our wonderful studio audience, and to all of you for watching at home. That's it from us. Good night.
Dancing Queen, Jodie Kidd. Return of the Mac, Michael McIntyre. And their team captain, Jason Manford. And facing them tonight, West Country Bumpkin, Russell Howard. Oh, say can you see, Rich Hall. And their team captain, John Locke. Now, welcome your host, Jimmy Carr.
And welcome to 8 out of 10 Cats, a show about opinion polls, surveys and statistics. Did you know, for example, a newborn kangaroo is just 1 inch in length? So if you're having them as a starter, I'd order a dozen. 13% of Brits exercise with a work colleague once a week. And I think you know what I mean by exercise. Things like aerobics, weight training, swimming, that sort of thing. 32% of women think they'll be left on the shelf once all their friends settle down. Yes, that's right. And on average, £150 million worth of books are stolen from libraries every year. But librarians are trying to keep it quiet. Let's get started. What are you talking about? That's the name of our first round. We've teamed up with a leading polling organisation and they've asked the British nation what stories they've been discussing this week. Sean's team, what do you think people have been talking about this week?
It's probably the momentous and historic victory by...
Oh, don't tell me. I've taped it.
No, Obama has won a historic victory and he's the president-elect of America.
I think it was such a historic victory that I actually start to feel a little sorry for Bush because he is what they call a lame duck now, which means that Dick Cheney gets to shoot him in the face.
I'm very happy about Obama's victory. Change we need was their slogan. It's quite vague. I can't help but think they stole that from the homeless. Don't you agree? There are homeless people thinking, I wrote that, the thieving bastard. I knew John McCain wouldn't win when he kept doing that. Who does the halfway thumbs? No. Even he doesn't believe in himself. We can do it. Well, it was... I don't believe we can do it.
If I thought he'd lost the election was when he got Arnold Schwarzenegger up to sort of support him. And the only criticism that Schwarzenegger could come up with for Obama was he said he's got spindly legs and he's really scrawny. Do you think... Hold on a sec, Arnie. You know, take a look in the mirror. Obama's not scrawny, you're a freak.
We need to keep Obama thin so it gives snipers less to aim at, surely. You know what I mean? Just keep him like that. But he also said that McCain was ripped and that he looked like a rock. And you're like, no, he doesn't. He looks like someone sprinkled icing sugar over a ball bag. That's what he looks like. That's exactly what he looks like.
Russell, can I stop you there? Can I ask how you know that?
Jimmy.
That's how he lost his job at Greg's.
Absolutely.
There's one last barrier, though. I mean, the first African-American president, right, the next barrier to go through is obviously the first Native American president, isn't it? Like a proper, you know, Cherokee or something, have a president who becomes the president and then says, right, a lot of you out. Yeah. I want my country back.
Jodie, did you stay up and watch it?
I didn't, no. Unfortunately, I need every hour. I was great, actually. I'm just catching up on the news because all I'm surrounded with is sequins and glitter.
So when we were talking about elections and voting, you were thinking it's Strictly Come Dancing.
Do you think Sarah Palin was responsible for his failure, McCain's failure?
No, I think she probably helped him.
She couldn't be any more right-wing unless she had a gun in one hand, a baby in another, and was stood on a mound of dead gays. Do you know what I mean?
Do you think anything's going to change in America?
I hope so. That seems to be the big message. That's what everybody's clinging to, this symbolism. But in fact, the man has inherited a shit situation. And in the sense of where America is, it's a shit sandwich. But it's our choice of brown or white bread this time, and we chose brown.
That I keep running up to black people and going, what a day!
That's wrong, but it comes from a lovely place. Let's have a look and see if the US election is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, it is. 74% of people. Yes, Barack Obama is the new US president. With his conviction politics, charisma and good looks, they're already calling him the Black John Major. Sarah Palin now faces perhaps the most difficult choice of her political career. Just how far can she fuck off? OK, Jason's team, what else have the nation been talking about?
What do you fancy? Oh, I know! Lewis Hamilton won the Formula 1 World Championships. It was a thrilling last lap. There was weather, there was rain, there was someone called Glock, and then... it was amazing, and Ferrari thought they won, and then Lewis won, and it's a momentous day. He's the first black winner of Formula 1. Is it wrong that I keep rushing up to black people in cars going, what a way!
It's a very good week for slightly black people.
Do you think that...
It is, isn't it? Go on, so tell me more about Lewis Hamilton.
I felt a bit cheated.
You felt cheated? You weren't in the race?
No, yeah.
What, because there was no dancing? How were you cheated?
No, I just thought that he was in 6th and he wasn't fast enough. But suddenly Glock, who is actually a buddy of his...
Because he slowed down and then he overtook him to get in the 5th place. I think F1 is piss boring. The last 30 seconds is brilliant. The first 30 seconds is brilliant.
It's like sex.
Well.
And then it's an hour and a half.
Last 30 seconds, first 30 seconds, absolutely marvellous. The bit in the middle.
Yeah.
Oh. Although with me, that's only 10 seconds.
But does one of your mates slow down so you can catch up?
I'm one of those people, I don't really like Formula 1, and I tend not to really like people who like Formula 1. If I meet someone they like Formula 1, I don't know, we just don't seem to get on. You know, in fact, what I do now is I meet someone, I just go, meow. And if their eyes light up, I'll go, I'll see you later, mate. We just don't connect. I don't connect with people who like Formula 1. I don't really get it. I get as much pleasure if you put 2 washing machines side by side, put them on the same cycle, see which one finished first.
Let's have a look and see if Lewis Hamilton is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, Lewis Hamilton has become the youngest ever winner of the Formula 1 Championship. He won the title in true British style by coming 5th. With his good looks and sporting success, Lewis Hamilton is just like David Beckham, except Lewis Hamilton has got a sexy pop star girlfriend. Sean, Rich, Russell, what else have the nation been talking about?
Jeremy Clarkson has come through with a cracking truckers murdering prostitute joke. He's done a joke about the fact that lorry drivers spend any spare moment they've got murdering prostitutes. But the thing is, it's gone out before the watershed. It's gone out at 8:30 at night, and the BBC had loads more complaints in the wake of the Jonathan Russell Bland thing. This is the last thing the BBC needs. Oh, blimey. I think what they should do, right, scrap the licence fee. The way they should fund the BBC is their complaints number should be a premium rate phone line. It's absolute filth on the BBC all day long. And they just get so many complaints, we don't need a licence fee. John Cotton just, like, stabbing someone in the eye.
It's not just truck drivers that have been offended by it. There's, I mean, I didn't see the original recording. I still put a complaint in. But...
it's tradition now, yeah. Jodie, you know Clarkson.
Yeah, I do.
It's kind of
I think it's a bit, you know, people are jumping on the bandwagon after...
Jumping on the bandwagon? What, and all trying to kill a prostitute?
Well, no.
Top Gear. It's such a macho show. It does need some feminine input. This time of year in autumn, it's surprised they don't grow antlers and start rutting each other. It's so competitive. Why don't they have a lady in Top Gear? Is it just so blokey?
Jodie's been on Top Gear.
I've been on as a guest.
Yeah,
well, not as a car.
Not as a car.
How did you do on the old circuit?
I was top, and I think you beat me, didn't you?
Oh.
Yep. I have the record for doing the whole thing in 3rd gear. Just put it in 3rd and rip the shit out of it.
I did it in a shopping trolley with loads of cans. It was quite late at night, they'd all gone home.
OK, let's see if Jeremy Clarkson's one of the most talked about things this week.
We're in order here,
Yes, this is the story. Jeremy Clarkson got into trouble for suggesting all lorry drivers murder prostitutes. I tell you what, 99% of lorry drivers give the other 1% a bad name. OK, Jason, Michael and Jodie, what else have the nation been talking about?
Is it Donald Trump and his £1 billion golf resort up in swanky Scotland? Yeah. He's decided right over an area of...
Why would you say swanky Scotland?
just swanky
Scotland. Like you're in a game show. You and a friend can go to swanky Scotland.
I don't think you should try to ruin the uniform greyness of Aberdeen with a green fairway.
It is. It's a granite city.
Grey.
It is grey, yeah.
I met a colourblind man once, Aberdeen. Took him out of town and cured him.
I I don't think that he should build this golf course and he should go away.
Yeah. Rich, what do you think?
I don't like him. I don't like him. I don't like the cut of his jib. I don't like anything about him. I don't like the way he walks. I don't like the way he talks. I particularly don't like whatever the hell he's got on top of his head. It looks like someone's dropped a jumper on it.
But that's what
it looks like someone's just dropped a jumper's just gone plop on his head, and he's gone, I'll take anything I can get.
Mark Twain said, golf is a good walk spoiled, right, which I think shows how far we've come, doesn't it? Because now a good walk spoiled is being stabbed by a hoodie, isn't it? Oh.
Right, let's have a look and see whether this is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, Donald Trump's Scottish golf resort has been approved. Trump has had a hand in designing the golf course. It's quite unusual. The long grass at the side is combed over the fairway. Fingers on buzzers, one more thing to get. What else are we talking about? Jason.
Is it this old fella, this 84-year-old pensioner who attacked these armed robbers? There's an amazing picture of him just attacking... They were trying to get into an Ernest Jones.
Yeah, I've got the picture. There he is. You can see the guy there on the left.
What, the Jedi?
I think you'll find that's a Sith Lord. I think he's just telling that bloke, if you strike me down, I'll become more powerful than you can possibly imagine.
I think what he did is he took the balaclava off, didn't he? So that, you know, they could see his faces, and I think they were so shocked that this old dude came running up to him and ripped off their balaclavas that they kind of just went and just legged it.
I would imagine the only reason he's ripped the balaclava off is because he can't afford to pay his heating bill. Thinking I'll have that.
Can I just ask a question?
Yes.
Why are they breaking the window when the door is open?
Right, let's have a look and see whether this Have a Go hero is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, this is the story of pensioner William Grove, who foiled a robbery. The pensioner gave the robber a taste of his own medicine, some ointment for his ulcer and painkillers for his hip. That's our top 5 for this week. In other news, Welsh opera singer Catherine Jenkins has admitted taking drugs. She used to get high, and then low, and then high again, and really loud at the end. Gordon Brown visited Saudi Arabia this week to ask for economic aid. Unfortunately, Gordon Brown only has one eye, which over there means he stole a dog. In sporting news, England lost the Stanford 2020 cricket match. I love cricket, but I wouldn't want to play it, or watch it, or ever hear it mentioned again. So at the end of that round, Sean, Russell and Rich have 2 points, Jason, Jodie and Michael have 3 points. Our next round is called Pick of the Polls. Jason, Jodie and Michael, your turn to choose first. What do you like the look of?
Should we go with the vicar?
You've chosen the vicar. Let's have a look at a clip to illustrate the statistic.
I command, in the name of the Father, and of the Son...
Ken Mallin is 23. He's done many jobs and is convinced his failure to make money out of any of them was due to the malign influences of the devil rather than his own shortcomings.
Beat down Satan under our feet and cause these evil forces to depart.
Ken Mallin has been exorcised twice now. He hopes this will be the last time.
The weird thing is, they said they weren't going to make any more Vicar of Dibley.
It's amazing what you have to do to get your kids into a Catholic school these days.
OK, your related question. Most people believe in the paranormal. True or false?
This is definitely true, isn't it? And it's normally old ladies who let their pets lick the inside of their mouth. Do you know what I mean? It lost me and a friend. My mum was a diabetic. I come downstairs, jam on the table. She's still with me, you know?
Do you think people believe in the paranormal?
No.
I don't know, I think it's true. I'll tell you who really winds me up is those psychic mediums. Supposedly the dead are giving them messages, but they give them the first letter of their name. If you were talking through a medium, you'd have more to say than, my name begins with B. Why would you do that? People are sitting in the audience going, he didn't even like charades when he was alive. Why is he doing this to them?
Jodie, do you believe in ghosts?
Yeah, I actually saw a ghost.
You saw a ghost?
I did, at my school. Apparently half the schoolyard was put on top of a graveyard. And so there was all these stories of this white lady, and I swear to God, I saw her at the end of the corridor.
A white lady?
A white... Well, you just see, like, an apparition.
Did she say anything to you?
No, you just...
Don't run in the corridor, Jodie!
Don't go in there, there's flour everywhere!
I had any kind of belief in the paranormal beaten out of me by years of Scooby-Doo. I suddenly realised one day, I think it was about the 400th episode, when I'd been led to believe that there was a ghost involved in the mischief that was afoot. It wasn't a ghost at all. After all, it was a very selfish and greedy man.
I think he might be rich.
Yeah, he could be.
You know when the guy takes the mask off? It always looked a bit like you. You pesky kids.
I had that job for quite a few years.
I think what's
Then
more...
Mo, the bartender, opened up and I moved up. For a while in between, I had an out-of-money experience.
Do you think most people believe in the paranormal? True or false?
Most people don't, no.
What about Derek Acorah? There's the one thing, every time I see that show, Most Haunted, I always think, how come every ghost, no matter where it's from in history or location around the world, has got a Scouse accent? He'd be like a 17th century monk. Hello, everybody. Mary loves dick. And all that. He loves that. That's his favourite phrase.
OK, so what do you think? Are you going to go true or false?
No, they don't. Most people don't believe.
OK, so you're going false, Jason?
Jodie, what do you think?
True.
You think true?
Yeah, I think true.
Let's go true.
OK, so you're going true, you're going false. I can tell you the answer is true. 58% of people believe in the paranormal. They're right. Paranormal is derived from the Greek para, meaning you're not, and normal, meaning normal. You're going to choose. Sean, what do you like the look of?
I like the little girl with the tongue... No, I mean, that sounds bad, doesn't it?
Can we just get social services on the phone, please? OK, all right, you've chosen the child. 20% of children have never seen what?
Is it their feet?
There's a lot of obesity about.
20% of children have never seen Santa Claus.
Most of them haven't.
Is it...
What?
He doesn't exist.
Oh, here we go again.
Wait to find out.
I had to tell my daughter that there was no such thing as a unicorn. And it's tough. But I wanted to prepare her for the future. You know, and things like Santa Claus. And then I hit a unicorn with my car. It was lying in my arms. And it looked up at me and it said, you know, Rich, I've never got to do the things with my life that I wanted to. And then it died. So I'd say unicorn.
Never seen the country.
That is the right answer. Yes, 20% of children have never seen the countryside. The only thing I don't like about the countryside is the people, the animals, the smell, the lack of amenities. Did I mention the people? When visiting the countryside, don't let your dog worry the sheep with financial news from the city. So at the end of that round, it's 2 points to Sean's team and 5 points to Jason's team. And the winner is the name of our final round. Here is your first one. Biggest waste of time.
Nope.
This buzzer.
Oh, is it a buzz? Clear Sean's
The biggest waste of time would have to be debobbling jumpers. It's a waste of time, because once a jumper's bobbled, that's it. It's always going to bobble. So the most you're going to get an hour without any bobbles on it. You get all the bobbles off, you think you've got a nice jumper again, and it just starts to bobble within, I'd say, less than an hour. It probably pretty much starts straight away. You can't see it. You can't see it. But it's happening all the time. They're just bubbling up. But that is the biggest waste of time. Just accept the fact, once it's bobbled, it's over.
Correct answer. Yeah.
Thank you.
Is it phoning up to complain about something you've not seen or heard just because other people are doing it?
Oh, yes.
I think we made that
Brushing of teeth before bed. I know it's good. I know there are some positives, but I don't think it really... There's something about breath in the morning. It seems to be unavoidable. It's just hideous. I mean, my wife brushes her teeth like... She gets like a toothpaste beard. I mean, she really goes to it. But in the morning, it's just unbelievable. I don't know... And it doesn't help that everything begins with H as well. Hello. How did you sleep?
I like the fact that you in the morning, you and your wife, hello, hello.
Sorry. How do you start the day with your wife?
Well, we share...
Get up!
No.
Get up!
Is it the record of achievement file you had at school? That burgundy folder, every teacher went, you'll need this forever. Have you ever been to one interview where they've asked for it? Never.
In fairness, yours was very good, and that's how you got this job.
That's it.
When you're leaving a message, they kept having to go through that, to listen to your message, press 1. To re-record your message, press 2. What is all this? I mean, it's like... People leaving a message, I'm not cutting an album. It's do people actually listen to it again? Do people do that? Do they go, darling, I'll be 5 minutes late. Do we need milk? OK, play it back. OK, let's go one more time on that. Do you know what other function winds me up?
Is drafts. Who drafts text messages? Who works on a text message throughout the week? Who takes a country cottage going, I'm working on this text at the moment. I've been through several drafts. It's not ready.
Safety announcements on planes. Utterly pointless, isn't it? If he's going to crash, adopt the brace position, because when you're found dead, it'll look like you're trying to blow yourself.
What do you want, though? You don't want to get in a plane and they just go, let's go.
Is it buying Friends on DVD? It's on telly more than the news, isn't it? All
right, you're close with Friends.
Is it Waiting for Friends?
That's the right answer.
Oh,
the biggest waste of time is waiting for Friends. Friends are like buses. You wait ages for one to show up, and then they never do show up. You have to walk home alone in the rain. OK. Best thing about life in Britain.
Is it the moonlight glistening off a broken shopping trolley in a canal, reflecting off a dead dog's eyes? Is it that?
It was almost like a Beatles lyric.
You're never more than 500 miles away from Stephen Fry. I met him once. It was like hanging out with Google.
Life in Britain is just brilliant. I mean, I don't know why, but people just love it. And you sense this when people go on holiday. We tend to book holidays for 2 weeks. But then we all have this theory that, well, 10 days would have been enough, you know? So we went for 2 weeks and we had a great time. The hotel was great and it was just fantastic. But, you know, after 10 days, you just want to get back to your shit life, don't you?
That's usually because you've found another British couple and they keep following you. You sort of make friends on the first 2 days and then you try and couple dump them for the rest of the time. Yeah, we'll meet you by the restaurant. Will we?
OK. Is it the incredibly high standards set by the BBC? I've been away.
Jodie, what do you think? What's the best thing about life in Britain?
I was about to say Strictly.
Yeah.
Oh, how's John Sargent still in it? He can barely walk. Rich, you live here and you...
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, you live here. What do you like about it?
No one says have a nice day to you, because it's not possible. Your dreams and your hopes and your optimism, all these great things that you have, and then you walk out of your house and a guy on a scaffold pees on your head.
I'll give you a clue. You can display them at the dinner table.
Your balls.
Your Nazi silverware.
Table manners.
Table manners, yeah, good manners is the right answer, I'll give you that. Yes, the best thing about life in Britain is good manners, and that was a survey of contemporary Britain conducted in 1873. Well, that sound tells me it's the end of the round and the end of the show, which means the final scores are Sean, Russell and Rich have 3 points, but the winners are Jason, Jodie and Michael with 6 points. Thanks to all our panellists, our wonderful studio audience, and to all of you for watching at home. That's it from us. Good night.